Hello! Welcome to another episode of Blaze in the Dark, Whispers in the Water, my art from RPGClinic.
RPGClinic mini campaign, that's right.
Yeah.
Here we are. Back again. Yep.
Sometimes I wonder whether your cats just have an effect on me at all times.
What?
Like they're connected to your heartstrings?
No, that was just a ball of dust.
I may have fluff. I may also have chaos in my various... Did your cat take up my SSD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Morks.
Yeah, Morks actually joined us last week. We didn't tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did he do that?
He's the darkness.
Yeah,
right,
he's
sure.
A,
We
he's
wouldn't
a
have
sneaky
noticed.
little man. He can't see where he is.
He's pretty sneaky.
He's so sneaky.
My SSD should be in New Jersey by now.
Oh, hopefully. And
Scary
hopefully,
place for it to be.
as long as it's not on the turnpike.
I was going to say, gotta keep it safe, yeah.
Samsung, if you're listening, and I know you are, please don't fuck this up. I want my SSD back. I need it. My computer is useless without it.
Please, Mr. Sung was my father. Just call me Sam.
Fuck?
Samsung, he's watching.
Yeah. I like it.
Come on.
I'm sure there are
the
people
fuck
out there with
over
that
there?
name.
I have no doubt.
And possibly unironically. Like, not intentionally.
Oh no, I would hope unironically.
Yeah, parents.
No. There we go. Boo indeed. But also, hurrah, because tonight, kind of odd little starting moments aside, tonight is the finale, the end of this mini campaign of Blades in the Dark here on RPGClinic as we come towards the end of a calendar year and the beginnings of some new stuff in the future, which we're very excited to share with you. Of course, the best place to find out all of those updates is, and say it with me, the Discord. Yeah. Exactly. Kung Fu Fenris is correct. We're having a climax weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's... that's it. But of course, before we, hop into the excitement, the finale, the anticipation of what is to come for these characters and for RPGClinic as a whole, we gotta talk about our number one priority here on RPGClinic, which is our own safety.
Not your safety,
cards.
apparently.
Oh shit, everyone's safety.
Just ours.
Just safety.
Safety! So we have some cards here. We'll get to the options you folks have in chat, but right now we have these three cards. The green card, play, indicates that I am good to continue with the current events, even if I may look unhappy or unwell or whatever. Thumbs up, good to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Dino.
Yellow pause means, hey everyone, I need to inform you of something before we can continue, but once I put the card down, I am good to go. Red, stop, means gameplay will be interrupted. In our case, we will usually go to a BRB screen, and it is an opportunity for everyone to drop character, drop what's happening in game, discuss, come to a resolution that everyone feels safe and comfortable with, and then only once everyone feels that way, gameplay can resume. You folks do not have cards, but you do have options. You can whisper us, RPGClinic. All four of us will see it on screen. You can also whisper a moderator who would be happy to keep you anonymous. And we have Kung Fu Fenris in the chat right now. Otherwise, of course, if you find yourself in an unsafe place, we would rather you prioritize your safety by leaving chat and or the stream, because as much as we don't want to see you go, we want you to do what is best for your own well-being.
Exactly. And thank you. Thank you very much. Ow. Oh, wrong one. That's the one. Well, safety is a priority. That's why we start our streams talking about it, because we're all here to play and to have a good time and to make sure that we can do that to the full... Well, so most of us are here to play and have a good time. John's here for serious business, folks.
Serious business.
Serious business. And the only way that we can do that, of course, is to make sure that we can push our limits safely, knowing that we can communicate with each other if anything happens, when something happens. And speaking of things happening, we had a pretty big two-parter over the last couple of weeks. I feel like a lot of stuff went down. Hello to the new arrivals. We are coming into this finale episode, the 6th kind of streamed episode of Blades in the Dark. I think we know where we're headed, but I think it might be useful for those people who were watching last week or those who were not to know where we're coming from. What happened last time on Blades in the Dark?
We were attending a gala where we knew that the Wraiths were going to try something involving a weapon that they had developed that was contained within files. When we arrived, our out of our gang, our compatriots, the Ciphers, were also going to be present to provide us with some backup and support, as they also had a vested interest in seeing this gala go over well. The Eruvian ambassador kicked out a couple of people.
Everyone was kind of a dick, honestly.
Everyone was kind of a dick, but to make a long story short, a massive spiritual attack was levied upon the, not the embassy, but where the gala was being held. And Waif managed to find out the source of this attack.
Yes, the spirits said that they were being tasked to collect blood, to some kind of blood vengeance, but they're being controlled by someone who is very powerful. And when Waif asked who it was, she was shown the image of Griggs, the gondolier who they met previously.
In episode 2.
Seemed like a nice guy. I'll also point out
prequel, I think.
that before Zane killed Telda,
Whoop.
she made a g sound, which I just saw in my notes right now.
Yeah, like I give a fuck.
Like a give a fuck.
Giggity. There we go.
I was hoping that people would interpret it maybe as ghost. But that's...
Oh, really?
No, like interpret it that way.
Gondolier.
Or gondoliers. Yeah, there you go.
Scott.
God. Scott.
I don't think I even told either of them
No.
about g.
Oh, no,
'cause
sure
I don't give a g
You
about
don't
g.
give a fuck.
You left her body just in a bathtub.
I sure did.
Horrifying.
Did you draw the shower curtain if there's
Well,
a shower
then whose body did
I'm
he
not a very good artist.
kick out the
Oh,
window?
right. No, you're
No,
correct.
he kicked
Yes.
the body out of a window
Oh, yeah.
so that it would smack against the windows with the word poison. Things got intense.
Yeah,
Very,
it got really
very
intense,
dramatic,
actually.
yeah.
Weirdness, I made a lot of sausage rolls today.
Lot.
Yeah. Like,
I made a lot. I made like the whole Christmas batch.
ah.
Yeah.
To have them in
For family.
I'm sending them away. I didn't get to eat them.
Oh no! I was gonna say, like, were these the ones that you ate and then you have more to make, or?
Yeah.
Gone, of course.
Thank you for the resubs.
Thank you, Poog. Actually, thanks to all folks who have subscribed or resubscribed already today. It's wonderful and it's lovely. Pugajutsu, your sausage roll is in the digital mail. The digital mail. The thought of it. I'll send you some sort of sausage
We
roll.
shoved it
themed
into
greeting
Now I've
card.
decided that it's like a sliced
It's been
pogo.
through enough.
So that's technically
That's what
a
happened to it.
sausage roll.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, sliced
That's
pogo.
how email works, right, John?
Roll greeting card. Okay.
Ultimate
Okay.
So that's
sadness.
for you, Pook. Don't worry about it.
We transfer. We transfer is just shoving food items into John's computer, which
Oh,
is
wow.
what happened to his SSD.
Oh sure. Okay.
That's what
At
happened.
least that's what I thought happened.
It's a serious problem. I've
It is.
been without my work
Sorry.
computer for.
I'm sorry.
I could be without it for another few months.
That's not
That
good.
would suck.
I hope. Yeah. Well. Oh, hey, whoa,
Hey,
hey,
nice.
whoa! Is that a sausage roll emoji, or are you just happy to? Yep.
Wow, that's legit sausage roll?
Yeah.
Roll to
rolled
one sausage. Roll.
Wow.
That is. Oh, and they're rolling through their animated style. This is cool.
Amazing.
Okay, that is awesome. Honestly, reading. Okay, thank you for the synopsis. I'm really excited to see what happens. Just one thing that I feel like we were missing from the synopsis, which is where did we leave the three of you?
We had escaped. Right, Grant? Right, Grant?
Traumatized
Yeah,
is actually.
traumatized, yes,
is that
that's
the
correct.
answer you were looking for?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And we're working to make our way back to our base. But yes, all three of us had taken another trauma, I
Yeah.
do believe.
I seem to recall the words being uttered of "I'm gonna kill that son of a gondolier." Flower, thank you.
That doesn't sound like me.
No, that
I said that he was
I
going to
wouldn't
die slowly.
sure.
Oh.
That's okay. Yeah, that is more intense, actually. Do you want to clock people in? Do you want to fill people in on what trauma you now have as your characters? I'll start over here with Kate.
Thistle is cold.
Oh God, brutal.
Do you need a blanket or something? Like,
Not that cold.
Going to Dominican Republic. Yeah, John.
in addition to my reckless trauma that I had before, I am now also vicious.
And Waif is haunted.
I mean, sure, that.
Duh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did you got that one for free? That was.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Fenris, we're treating this like a collectible card game over here. You know, we're treating it like a Pokemon situation. You gotta catch them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we
Trauma
missing?
What are we missing?
Obsessed, paranoid, soft,
and unstable.
unstable.
Nice.
Someone will pick up unstable today, I think.
Oh, guaranteed. Race to the finish line.
Yeah.
Before we dive right back in, downtime. You would, in this nebulous period of time after you managed to escape and lick thy wounds, so to speak, after the ambassador affair. What were people's downtime actions? I'll actually start over with Liz.
I healed myself,
Hey!
which got rid of my level 2 wound, which was zoned out, so that became unfocused. And I am going to continue my long-term project of investigating the voices in the canal, because maybe we can get some sweet spirit allies before our massive murdering of Griggs.
Something, anyway.
Yeah. Would you like me to roll for that?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, let's see if the clock is filled, and then we'll come back to it. This is returning to the site where you heard the whispers.
Correct.
In the sort of larger portion of Duskball River.
The whispers in the water, if you will.
Right, and you look. I'm not a complex man. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you may attune to this and see if
My shiny 4 attune.
so much attune. Apparently it's OP. The way I play it, apparently it's OP.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's crit.
Okay, we're gonna fill this clock,
Yeah.
and you will receive some extra bonuses. But I'm gonna come back to you, Liz, if that's all right. 'Cause I want to hear about other
put
downtime
stars on other
I
sets.
train my prowess because I just can't get enough. I now have a foreign skirmish because I'm going to kill a guy.
Oh my god.
Uh,
You take on a couple people, I think.
could I just move all my dots from skirmish into wreck?
Yes.
Push them down.
Hey, I haven't seen those sheets. You can do whatever you want.
just bane this guy.
He's very brittle.
And I am also acquiring a gondola because we can no longer necessarily trust the gondoliers and we may need transportation.
Are you going to be propelling said gondola?
When the moon hits your eye,
Oh my god,
Like
he's so
a
vicious.
big bleeding out hard onto the table.
oh,
reckless.
oh god.
Yeah.
So John, you will be able to acquire a gondola.
Yeah, well.
Zane will be able to find one. My question is, first of all, does Zane have any particular contacts that he would inquire as to?
Yeah, they're all gondoliers, so can't.
So you're just like trawling
Yeah,
the
you know what my
canals?
contacts are? Shiny gold.
We paid good money for those allies, goddammit.
No, and you still have them.
We have lots of money.
We can't trust them. We can't trust
We
anyone.
don't know. John, I will have you roll your cruise tier +1.
So 1.
Thank you. This will determine the level of asset. It will still be a gondola. It will be seaworthy. Sorry, not seaworthy.
What's the devil's bargain that you can give me?
Yay!
The devil's bargain is that it will come with a driver who is a mercenary, not associated, not affiliated with the gondoliers. But you do not know the person beyond that.
You're just gonna kill them, are you?
I mean, mercenary, that doesn't sound terrible, right?
I mean,
just pay them with gold.
You hired them, yeah.
Yeah,
hurt them.
that's okay, right?
Sure. Whatever.
All right.
Last episode energy.
5.
Hey, okay. Good. It is a perfectly so this isn't a question of like, oh, got it, but with consequences. It's just a question of tier, essentially, right? This is a perfectly serviceable craft. It doesn't have all the
It's not like a leaky gondola.
Or yeah, but they just give us water wings and
Water-
Oh no, this one leaks, but at least we've got a bailing bucket. Like, what's going on here?
There's 3 of you, right? 2 of you can
Yeah, it's a
bail, 1 of you can
standard.
pull,
It's a standard
Exactly.
gondola.
The mercenary whom the mercenary, the person whom you pay, the person who essentially comes with a gondola, operates an independent enterprise, he likes to call it, which is essentially in direct competition with the gondoliers, but
For fuck's sake.
nobody's caught on to him yet, or he'd be dead.
I'm sure they'll understand when we're like, I'm sorry, we had to kill one of your own. And they'll be like, well, we hate you anyway. And then we'll say, yeah, but actually this guy's kind of a prick. And they'll say, no, you did us a favor.
Okay. That's how it's going to go down.
I have no idea. This is the last session. You tell me.
That's a good question. I'll pass the buck along here. What kind of downtime actions is this?
I trained my prowess, which along with my experience expenditure got me my first dot of skirmish. Then I would also like to acquire an asset, but I was thinking a person.
You really hit me ass on that asset.
Here's my thought. This is news to you, so feel free to say no. But going back to the ciphers and Rowan, pointing out the fact that I directly intervened in a bullet going into the body of one of his allies.
Wait, didn't you redirect the bullet into?
No. I specifically I mitigated the outcome. I spent the thing to mitigate the outcome. Someone else got shot.
Someone else died.
Whatever.
Oh, that's fine.
There's a couple bodies there, yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm looking to get information on means of travel other than by river that perhaps the ciphers know because they're message senders and their whole thing is not getting intercepted while they're traveling with important information or documents. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. So yeah, is it that information that you're trying to acquire, or a person who might use
I think
these?
information.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because basically my hope is that it will help us in terms of getting to Griggs in a way that isn't necessarily like taking our gondola is one option, but I want to give us extra means of attack or escape.
I just want to see a gondolier battle. I just imagine it's like a joust.
Yeah.
It's two
as they go
gondoliers
by.
coming towards each
right?
other.
It's
Quarterstaff kind of stuff.
is it Men in Tights where they fight on the little
Yeah.
bridge? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't swim.
It's so good. Okay, no, that makes sense to me. I mean, I can sort of. I think rolling this would be good. This is going to be again at the tier of your crew +1. I will say that to your knowledge, there's no sort of like secret means of transportation. Although it wouldn't be a very good secret if there was, right? If you knew about it. The gondoliers transport people on the waterways around Duskfall, and then otherwise there's foot traffic, there's carriages.
Yeah, I'm specifically trying to get something more secret than I could have gotten like in a flashback being like, oh yeah, I looked at the city map. Like, I'm trying to find something. An asset as opposed to info.
Who's that ass?
That's a good old one.
Dear.
That's okay. It's just inferior.
It's just inferior.
That's
Look,
all.
it's not, it's not Mr. Moneybags over here hiring a gondolier.
You said it wasn't a gondolier.
Sorry, a person with a gondola. My apologies.
An unlicensed gondola operator is what we're looking for.
Unlicensed gondola operator is my new rock band name.
A Yu-Gi-Oh, if you will. That's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, I'll give you
Okay, thank you. His name, by the way, John, just so that I don't forget, is Gaz.
that. Gaz?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go kill
What if
Griggs
he was the
using Gaz?
guy?
Are we cooking with Gaz?
It's very
There we
well,
go.
that's up to you entirely. You can cook with Gaz if you
Yeah, you can
desire.
you can cook with Gaz to make a big pizza pie.
I like it. Thistle.
You're gonna have to seduce him. It's the only way we can.
The ciphers, Rowan is relatively forthcoming. He considers your business relationship to be developing. Quite developed, but still developing. He doesn't feel like he's in a position to have to necessarily do you too many favors, although he does thank you profusely for having saved one of his contacts. He doesn't come up fully empty-handed, but he doesn't have a good method for you. He does suggest that and we're going to talk about targets in a moment. He does suggest that there are covered carriages that transport fuel around Duskfall at all hours of the day and night. Those are generally not searched because fuel can be somewhat volatile. People tend to leave it alone. It doesn't make it perfect for smuggling, because if you are searched, it's pretty obvious if you are carrying fuel or not. However, being able to obtain the services of a fuel carrier to smuggle yourselves in or out of a location is doable. There you go. That's what you get. That's what you get for a 2?
A 1.
A 1.
Pook, if he's Gaz Lerman, that doesn't make sense because it was last session that we were strictly ballroom.
Butte.
Love that
I
movie.
always forget that he did that movie because it's not quite so.
It's the first of his Red Curtain trilogy.
It's not as flashy.
It's true, and that's what I meant. Yeah, it's not quite as
High budget.
gaudy, I think is what I was trying to say. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all for that. We're gonna come. Oh, yep. We're gonna have to come back to this down really quick, and then I'm gonna dive into where we. I'll set the scene for you. Wave.
Yes.
Let's do this. Today, or this time when you head back out to the river, for whatever reason, perhaps it has to do with having been so close to spirits so much recently. Perhaps it is your ability, your intuitive ability to attune to the ghost field has simply improved. Perhaps it's the training, perhaps it's luck. Today, as you enter the water, and your crew as well now can see kind of echoes, right? The echoes of the sound emanating from the water draw your eye, and you can see them, right? And as you venture towards them, you can hear the voices crying out from the depths. Muffled, crying out, muffled, but still there regardless. What did you wanted to ask them something or speak to them?
I'm just investigating.
Okay.
I want to know.
You hear muffled cries.
Because
beneath
they
the
were
water.
calling for help. I want to know how I can help them, what happened to them, as much information as my fabulous role will.
The river is deep enough that you can't just kind of wade out into the middle of it, right? You would need to swim out, dive down. You can do this. I'm not saying you can't. But just so you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah,
swim out to the middle of the river, dive down to where you hear the sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Along the bottom of the very dark, muddy river, however, quite visible to you because of the echoes of the ghost field that are kind of emanating off of it, is what looks like a very large chest, if you can imagine. Very large, the size of probably a room like this, but much shallower.
Wow.
So only about, a couple feet tall, but very long and wide. It's been partially buried in the mud. There's what looks to be sort of an iron cage over top. Inside of it, again, not visible to most people, and certainly not audible to most people, Waif, you can see the visages of spirits trapped inside. They seem like the ones that you encountered at the Iruvian Ambassador's Gala. Full of fury and full of bloodlust, but unable to escape this cage that they're in. That's what I'll tell you. Is there anything else you want to know?
Well, how hard would it be to try to tinker with the cage and open it?
Very. You could try. You could have limited effect in doing so.
Okay.
It doesn't have any obvious means of opening. It looks like a single piece of iron that's been laid over top of this kind of very large crate.
How strong are you, Zane?
Am I there?
No, but I've been watching you.
I'm
been tinkering with your bones, so I'm wondering if Waif has a sense of your strength.
I am very good at moving around, and I'm very good at hurting things now. But
Excellent. I tucked that.
I'm not good at wrecking.
Nugget of information.
If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Could you skirmish an iron cage?
No. I mean, yes, but
see.
it wouldn't be very effective. It'd be like swinging a sword at it, right?
In fact, you are much better at wrecking than I am with your one dot of wreck. I believe you may, in fact, be the wrecking crew.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
The wrecking ball. Wave the wrecking ball. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything I can do
Mm-hmm.
without planning something more, but this is good to know.
It is, and I would, whatever assumptions you want to make about it, you can, right? I'm putting that information in your court. If you want to have asked questions of the creatures in there,
One thing I would want to know is what do they want to do when they are free?
cries of blood and havoc and mayhem come back to you almost instantaneously.
I asked them if anyone's put them up to this.
There are very similar calls to the banshee type spirit that you met at the gala. Encountered. At the gala. There's oblique references to one who is powerful, one who has bound us here.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Would you destroy him if you were free?
They tell you that they can't. They couldn't. They wouldn't be able to. He is too powerful.
How powerful will he be if Zane punches out his
Again,
stomach?
not very much of a wreck person. More of a
You skirmish. You
find the weak points and deliver us.
Perfect. We'll work with that.
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome. We can find ourselves in the front room of the three-legged goat in Six Towers, or in your lair, already in the midst of preparation. I leave it up to you.
Look, one of you has to be the one to make this decision, because I would just be like, we'll talk about it in the open. I don't care.
No, I think we probably should be in our back room.
Okay.
Because,
It's hidden.
Yeah.
This is what we need. Griggs has to die. At the same time, we have to be able to prove to the gondoliers that he's been acting against their interests.
Yeah. Well, there's that one that was awfully afraid of ghosts, and he wasn't even equipped. Like, he wasn't even.
That was Griggs.
No, it was another one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Griggs
Oh,
was the
fuck.
first one we met.
Yeah. And he wasn't even given a spirit bane charm in his travels. I wonder how many others were left so exposed. Whether it was that Griggs had too much confidence because he was controlling the spirits, or because he was trying to feed people to the spirits.
So then we need to get a confession out of him first.
Or get enough of them remembering how strange he was about the spiritual presence. Yes. Oh, wait, we have a way to make a confession useful. I was like, who cares if he confesses to us?
We have
but-
the cranky box.
Ah, yes.
How little we remember the cranky box.
The crit success cranky box.
Look, that was
666. That's correct. Yeah.
3 whole days ago.
Yeah.
A lot has happened
Been a
since.
very busy week. Yeah.
Whatever quantity of days. Insert time frame here.
Waif also fills them in on what she learned from the ghosts in the canal. The ghosts and echoes of the canal. So he's behind keeping many, many more of them bound. And we have to let them free.
In a way in which they are happy to not accost everyone.
Well,
Yes.
apparently he's very powerful. And so if we just destroy the source of his power, then maybe they'll turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be able to defend himself anymore.
So, your thought is to take someone who's super powerful at controlling the spirits and get the spirits to attack him.
Yes, but we would have to
Incapacitate him somehow.
incapacitate him first.
Yes. Because otherwise, I fear that it would become a battle between you and him, and not to undervalue your skill, I just worry that leaving you in that tug of war, your footing might slip at the worst moment.
I'm good at talking to them, but they don't really do what I say.
I don't think you want to order them around.
I don't want to. I want them to live their
sort.
lives. Live their lives.
Live their own lives.
Exactly.
So, incapacitate him enough to get the spirits to take out their vengeance.
Do we know where he lives?
Well,
We can have someone hire him.
could
Molly
be those people?
Molly Danvers.
Maradeva!
Yeah.
Have someone hire him for a job. He still needs money.
Mm-hmm. And what would we do with him on this job?
We'd know where he was headed. We'd know where he was going.
See, I was thinking that there was some way that we could have a parcel on a certain carriage that would come in use. So perhaps that's it. He's to receive a parcel off of a carriage. Happens to be explosives or or the opposite of smelling salts.
Stink bombs.
Slumber essence, some sort of fragile vessel by which it breaks, something like that.
And if we search his house, he might have idols, he might have an altar, he might have something that we can compromise.
So we have to find out where he lives.
If that could be worked into the plan.
We have limited time. And he needs to die tonight.
Not a lot of time to prepare.
Well, then,
No.
I think I have
It's
a
not.
message for the ciphers
Who are you?
to deliver.
Where's Buttercup?
The omniscient narrator, don't worry about it.
Then perhaps we have a letter to be delivered by the ciphers. Or that sparky young boy who was so eager to find me.
Terrence. Terrence, the wannabe cipher. He's a boy of about 12 who was very excited with the prospect of joining the ciphers.
Deliver a message. Find out where that message goes. Meanwhile, we send him on a wild goose chase until such time as we corner him mid-task.
Without the confession, there's no reason to go through any of this. We could simply just kill him.
So, in his home, we find all of the blackmail we need. Seems familiar, reminiscent of the Magpie affair, does it not?
But we don't know where he lives.
This is why
what we're trying to find out.
ciphers would deliver a message to him.
Fine.
Let's ask Mrs. Ward if she can call Terrence here. And then we can give him the letter.
A letter, what kind of contents? What would you put in this letter?
We know what you did at the gala.
Oh, just a full threat, unsigned. Get Terrence killed. Yeah, sorry. Maybe,
We're asking you, because you are closest contact, to pick up a parcel at X place at X time from a fuel vessel that isn't quite a fuel carriage that isn't quite a fuel carriage. A mission, an employment. There will be 2 coin in it for you.
Ooh.
He knows
If
we
you
were
don't-
at the gala. He knows that we're his enemy. For all we know, he was sicking those spirits on one of us.
He doesn't know that we're his enemy. Not at all. Only we know what the spirits were doing and who sent them. He has no way of knowing. We pretend to be his friend, and then we stab a knife in his back.
Not his back.
Or his front, or his face.
Wherever is most efficient.
Wherever's most efficient.
It's not
Voice
going to
of
be
intelligence,
efficient.
folks. Oh, God.
Whatever will get the job done.
It will be done.
Are you in agreement with this plan? Those
Just
people
make it happen and put me where I need to be.
at the place where this exchange, or like wherever, like pick up this parcel and bring it to X. So it's just between pickup location and destination. Insert abandoned building here.
Yeah.
But in our neighborhood, I would say in Six Towers.
6 towers.
What? Abandoned buildings in 6 towers?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like this.
Yeah, so I would pick one that I know to currently be actually abandoned.
Oh yeah, I would also pick the same one. I wish I had written it down.
It's the final.
Polly Anning, your Mr. Charkovitz, your ghostly lover. He lives in. He resides in an abandoned restaurant. Does he not?
Yes.
That would. I mean, that would be a possibility.
It's like the 12-legged ox or
Yeah,
something.
it was-
It's,
That's good. You already have one ghost friend
It was the
there.
cloven hoof. It was the cloven hoof.
there, that's
It's
cloven.
it's the missing leg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It was
right.
Cloven
The
hoof.
hoof that was cloven off of. Yeah, exactly.
No, the hoof that was
It
cloven.
is
Yes,
clove,
yes, yes.
Yikes.
Yeah, big yikes.
Wait, are you sure you want to shit where you eat?
No. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I don't want to put him in danger.
That's
What
fine.
if he takes over my boyfriend?
That's a good question.
Your love conquers all, or something.
Wait, you have a boyfriend who's a spirit?
Did I not tell you about him?
What's the wrong thing?
I mean, I don't know. Did
He's
you?
really nice. You want to see a picture?
No.
And it's just
Also-
like here.
It's just a mirror, but it's empty. Yeah. In 6 towers, this is again a sort of generalized map of the region. On the left side of that image, you can see an imagining of it, and also the region of Duskfall. You guys are located essentially sort of towards the western sort of chunk of this. To the east, number 3 is a big landmark in the region, just before the river, which then leads out into the lands beyond. That's Lord Skurlock's manor. Lord Skurlock being a reclusive, potentially very powerful something or other who lives there. Nobody knows, nobody goes there. Just to the north of that, which is again about that number 2 on the map, if you can see it,
Yep.
is a lovely place by the name of Miss Shore Park. The dark, overgrown space overlooks the eastern branch of the River Dosk and the Deathlands beyond. In old folk ballads, young lovers who could not be together would commit suicide in this park. Yikes. Whatever the truth of
R&J
it
Park.
is. Yeah, R&J Park. It's certainly haunted now. It's a location that you can practically guarantee that nobody would want to go. This would also make it, if not attractive to Griggs, then at least he'd know he's not going to be set up there, because who would set up an ambush in a haunted park? It's wild.
Perfect.
Is the plan to try to score blackmail from his hideout
So-
and then go and attack him outside of his hideout or within his hideout?
We're not attempting to blackmail him. That implies
Oh, no,
that there's
right.
a way for him to get away.
Right, because you're going to
Yeah, we're
obtain
trying.
a confession.
Well, we're gonna pretend that oh yeah, if you don't tell us, blah blah, we're gonna expose it or whatever. So pretend blackmail, actual murder mail.
Murder mail.
And postage is due.
What's the name of the haunted park again?
Ciphers. It's called Mist Shore Park.
Missed.
Of course.
I heard it Miss
So
Shore.
Miss-
Mist Shore.
Yeah.
Mist Shore. Then
Mist spelt with a Y or
No.
with an I?
it's not that clever.
Solve 28 puzzles or else.
Click this pixel. Or else you die. I want to get a sense of the plan before we roll the engagement on this. Griggs is drawn away. You're able to infiltrate. You're able to find and then infiltrate his hideout to himself.
Again, though, we don't know where that is.
No, I know, but the idea of sending the letter is that it would arrive to him so that
Yeah,
he
the
could
letter is
identify
sent
it.
in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was the
Send a
idea.
letter to through Terrence and
get-
follow Terrence to find out where it
Or
is.
Terrence, go find it and come back here and tell me where it is.
Aha! Okay.
For like you get tuppence for delivering it, but you get
That's enough to
20
feed the
pence.
birds.
to actually come back and tell us where he is. Yeah.
Are you hoping to surprise him when he is there or when he is not there? Are you planning an ambush or not? I guess is something I just want to.
My understanding is that we're trying to get, while he's away doing the job for us, infiltrate his house. So again, magpie style. While he's away starting the job, we search his house, then we meet up with him at drop-off point.
And kick his ass.
And kick his ass, demand a confession, and then...
And kill the dude. You okay?
And send Zane after, point Zane in his direction. And
Does this make sense? Ish?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a
Point
sentence.
Zane in his direction. Well, point Zane in his corpse's direction, you mean?
So I'll just put it. Zane's checked the fuck out. He wants to kill a guy, and he's hoping
That's
that other
about
people
it,
will
eh?
do it. Otherwise, he's just going to go out and kill him.
Cool.
So
Cool.
I personally, I'm like, good,
Yeah.
great plan.
Great.
Zane feels differently, but
Okay.
but he's still tolerant of you making a plan
Tolerant.
for now.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out where the best sort of place would be to organize a drop off. Probably within 6 towers. It's close to where you are. It wouldn't be much of a smuggling trip for him then, would it?
Well, he's picking up the parcel. I can send the parcel to be picked up anywhere that will send him past or close anywhere. So his pickup point can be anywhere.
Okay.
And his drop-off point is somewhere that would take him shortly past, so maybe near the mansion you mentioned, right? So he would be coming from north of it and going past the park to the south of it. So that would be my intent, right? So that he picks it up, he's on his way to the drop-off point, and we ambush and
Okay.
do the thing.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a plan. This is a bit of a two-parter, right?
Yeah.
There's a point of infiltration,
Yeah.
his lair, wherever it is, which we will find. Then there's another attempt at violence,
Mm-hmm.
but that plan is clear as well. Ambush him along
Yeah.
the route that he must take.
At the park, ambush him at the park, and get a confession, get a confession, get him to let go of the ghosts.
yeah, give up the ghost, if you will.
Yeah. Hey.
Die, and thus give up the ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Do you
I
think
mean, it's
that's-
insanity, but I'm loving it anyway. Okay, we're gonna jump in then, and we're gonna have our engagement roll here. The point of infiltration is, I mean, unfortunately, we're not 100% sure because we don't quite know where the lair is yet. But point of infiltration will be Grig's lair, private or otherwise, be it belong to the gondoliers or him privately. It is time. That's our detail. Item loadouts. People are taking
Heavy.
a lot of stuff. Yeah, I fucking love to hear that. This is good. Lots. This guy's on a mission. All right, we have a die for pure luck. This is a very daring plan. A group of shadows, numbering no more than 3, is attempting to extract a confession from and assassinate the second in command of the gondoliers, one of, a relatively large gang in Duskfall. So we can take +1 die for this. So this is 2.
It starts with a clandestine infiltration.
Yep. I would argue that this plan's detail does not.
Oh, that's okay.
This plan's detail does not expose any hidden weaknesses in their defenses because you don't know what they are. I'm going to subtract a die from your roll. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I mean, you've acquired some assets and you have already done so. I would argue. You can take +1 die here. But this is a higher tier target. It's good times.
Just
Yeah.
to clarify plan
Yeah.
detail, it's if it exposes a vulnerability or hit them where they're weakest, we get a die.
Mhm.
But if they're strongest, or if they have particular defenses, we would take -1.
He didn't take -1 for that.
Okay, what was the -1? Oh, because Yeah, where was the -1 from? Sorry.
Sorry, yeah, it's contingent on a few factors.
Okay,
As
great,
well
great,
from
great.
that first
great, great.
first line.
Sorry, I thought it was the second one. I was
No,
like,
no,
I
no,
mean,
that's
maybe
fair.
he is defended or taking particular protections. We don't know.
Unfortunately, we don't really know.
So
Yeah,
that's 2 dice.
it is 2 dice.
It feels like we have a bit of an advantage. He doesn't know we're coming for him.
Yeah. Do you know
His
that?
weakness is
Do you know that
he
for
doesn't
sure?
know that
He
we
doesn't
talk to
know
the
that
ghosties.
we know, it's
Yeah, he
true.
doesn't know that we know that he knows that we know.
I will accept final arguments, but
I
this
would
is what I would roll for the engagement is 2 dice.
Very well.
Each one roll 1.
That's probably not a good idea considering you're the one with all the dice luck, but
Here we go.
She just crit.
that's true.
6.
6! You made the right choice.
Never question me again.
Oh God. All right.
Kate, we're having garbage for dinner. Never question you
Never
again.
question you again. Would you like to buy this lottery ticket for me, please? Okay. I don't need that right now. Terrence is absolutely thrilled with a private assignment, especially to someone who he only knows from legend. You know,
Oh, what a little shit.
he is a little shit. What? And you'll pay me too? I would do it just for the opportunity. But all right, yeah, I'll go and find him and everything.
So,
Yes. What?
entry-level fare for delivering the message. You're just starting out, and as you said, you'd do it for nothing.
Well, I have some
But if
experience.
you come back and tell me where it was, because I don't know where you're headed. I just know you're headed to the home of a particular person.
Well, the ciphers never tell anyone what's in their messages or who they're talking to, but I'm not a cipher.
No.
Not yet.
But you don't have to tell anyone what was in the message. You just have to find out the home of the person I want you to deliver this to, because I want it to go to their home, not wherever they happen to be out in the city. And then if you come back and tell me where that home is, it'll be half a coin.
He is out like a shot. The door just goes "Grr, grr," and slams back immediately. All right. We're gonna
Meanwhile, we go back to preparing for.
exactly. Yeah,
It's
you're
gonna
putting
be a
your
while.
shit together, right? We're gonna essentially put you right into the action. But I'm going to explain to you where we are. Just again for some context. I feel like that's nice and useful. This is the docks in the northwest end of Duskfall proper. Before you cross the river into White Crown. This is, of course, one of the oldest regions of Duskfall. This is the region that was a shipping port for many years. It was part of its lifeblood for a long time. Terrence reports back to you that he met the man in question, Griggs, coming out of a grotto hidden underneath the North Hook Company, which is, again, like a very lauded corporation here in Duskfall. It would appear that underneath the North Hook Company, the canals continue to extend and open into like underground caverns and rivers, just immediately below where that company's headquarters are. All right. Love it. The sound that you can hear as you enter Greg's hideout is the dripping of water. There's the running of water as well, coming from behind you, you know, the docks themselves, the cries of sailors, the cawing of birds. It fades away as you enter into Greg's lair, or at least the beginnings of it.
There's a dragon in here.
You never know. The dripping of water is far off. Where you found yourself essentially is a large, causeway, essentially, a way for sort of like water to potentially flow through under this section of Duskfall. It's a large stone kind of tunnel that leads off, and you can see that it branches off in the distance. This is his lair, or part of it. You know to follow the lit torches as it leads you down the hall. What are we on the lookout for as we make our way in quietly?
Anything that seems arcane, supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for talismans, totems, idols, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
A place where he might conduct rituals.
And we're entering on our rented gondola.
I think so.
Yeah.
Who has survey?
Oh, thank God.
Because my thought is either to look for the stuff we're looking for, or specifically to stay on the boat and keep an eye out for any sign of trouble.
Mm.
If there's a preference from my teammates,
As to whether you will.
I mean,
be
I
on
can
lookout,
lead
essentially?
I can lead us to survey,
Yeah.
or I can assist in a survey, whichever makes the most sense.
I think you leading it probably makes the
Great.
most sense.
For each character rules who participates in the group action. The best single roll counts as the action result, which applies to every character that rolled. Okay, so we're all gonna roll our survey.
If you
I have no dots in
Me
survey.
neither.
so
I'm
maybe
gonna roll
just
the
you're just
survey.
gonna do that, yeah.
Then it doesn't really matter whether it's group action. Well, it doesn't matter. Whatever.
Didn't we have
that's
that
the
group
result.
action bonus? But that's not good.
No, I don't
No,
think
we
you
never
took it.
took
Oh,
it.
we didn't take it. Gotcha.
Does my cracked rib reduce my effectiveness?
No.
Sitting. 4 and 5, so 5.
Okay. Sorry.
I need to remember that I have no stress at the moment, so I should stress myself
You
out.
should just
That's
go
okay.
for it.
Five's an okay result.
That's fine, yeah. So here's as you kind of sail, I guess, into this underground area. First of all, Gaz, the mercenary that you've brought along with you, would not stop talking the whole way. He appears to be some sort of food fiend. He's not some sort of culinary mind, but he will not stop talking about what he's going to eat once the job is done, because you've promised him some money for the use of his time and his ship, right?
Promised him money for the use of his time, not the use of his tongue. Keep it shut. Keep it silent. Otherwise, we're all dead.
His laugh trails off and it kind of echoes into the darkness.
Talk as much as any other gondolier would, which is to say not too much to clients that are just paying them.
Yeah, they don't talk at all. Oh, okay. I get you. I don't get you. There we go. The large stone tunnel, there are passageways that open off from it. You're able to surmise that this is not the hideout of the gondoliers. You would see, presumably,
A bunch of gondoliers.
a bunch of gondolas. Yeah, exactly, a bunch of gondoliers. You wouldn't be alone in here. This must be an area that Griggs haunts for himself. My consequence, by the by, I'm going to inflict is 1 tick on a. Well, I'll give the option of resisting this if you'd like. It will be 1 tick on a 6-tick clock called reinforcements.
Oh god. Hi. Peace symbol. Let's try that again.
Like a Trivial Pursuit.
Or I could resist.
This would be an insight roll, resistance roll, to resist the outcome. 6 stress minus your highest result.
Great.
Yep. Yeah.
Does my crack rib
Not
affect
with
this?
resistance, yeah.
6. Not quite a crit, but so no stress.
I'm keeping note of that clock, which is currently unfilled.
0?
At 0.
Yeah.
You're like, but I just. Okay. As you move down the passage, the torchlight guides your way. Thistle, you're able to determine with relative confidence that if he does have a room where he stores any personal effects, it would be, far away from prying eyes. You need to head deeper and follow the torchlight, which you can do.
Yep.
Upon making your way down, the canal, I suppose, bends around a corner. And what comes into your view is a large oak door. set into the wall, a small gate on top of it, a metal gate, like a portcullis almost. It's quite foreboding. It must be quite old as well. They just don't make them like they used to. All three of you can sense arcane power behind the door. It's powerful enough that now, as shadows, you can see the sort of echoes of the ghost field. There is something in there. Beyond that, the door is also decorated with a number of spirit bane charms of varying shapes and sizes. Yeah, and they adorn the door.
I'm going to keep my eye turned away from the door and towards the entering canal as I let my teammates.
Silence behind you. As Gaz looks at you like, am I doing it good?
I want to try to get through this door.
Yeah, of course.
So either through tinkering or asking Zane to finesse it.
Not a whole lot of finesse on this sheet.
Oh,
boy.
I thought you had a bunch of finesse.
There's
You have 3 tinker.
I do.
Yeah, a brief kind of, you could also, of course, you can study the door to sort of get a sense of what might kind of protect it, if anything. A brief glance at it indicates that the portcullis is operated by like a small winch device that could be opened.
I'd like to tinker with the wind.
And there would be a padlock behind it as well.
I see.
Those could be tinkered together, I mean.
Great.
To open the door, it would appear that there's 2 mechanical devices.
I'd like to tinker with the mechanical devices and bust through this door.
I'm going to hand her my fine lockpicks.
Yeah, I like that.
Ah, very nice.
It'll help with the lock, not so much with the winch. Yeah, okay. There's the drip of water continues to sort of haunt you, and the sound of slowly flowing water around you. But again, there doesn't seem to be anyone here, any other presences. This is where we're at. Yeah.
What kind of action is this?
You told me you wanted to tinker. Oh yeah, sorry. Hey, we should talk about the
Is it
actual
standard
thing. Hey.
or is it?
No, it's standard. You want to get through the door. Sorry, and then that would be standard effect. There is risk involved because you don't know if there are any additional safety measures here. So failure might trigger something, right? You don't know.
Right.
It's risky.
Okay. 4.
This will allow you to crack both sets of defenses against the door. The consequence that I am going to offer to you is the piercing sound of an alarm. The sound of a wailing cry from within. Vaguely human, sort of halfway between like a violin and a human child's cry. Human child's cry. I'm an alien apparently, folks.
No, 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 no.
I want to resist that.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
no,
this is
no, 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 no.
prowess to try to essentially to try to steady yourself enough to not trigger the trap.
Okay.
Yep, 6 stress minus whatever you take here, right?
So I'm going to take 2 stress.
Okay.
Worth.
Wait, if you manage to essentially find a way to sort of open the portcullis and pick through the door, there's an alarm to be triggered, essentially, that was mitigated. You, just in time, you realize that pushing open the door from the side where the knob is, would trip a sensor.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to disengage that as you push the door open.
Right.
All right, you're staying on the gondola. You guys are heading in. I think that was the idea anyway, yeah, if you want to.
I go where I'm needed.
Sure, come along.
Within. This room is no larger than a prison cell. It is dark, and I wanted to say dank, that's what I was trying to say. Water and mold and slime kind of adorn the walls as you step inside. There are a number of desks. On them are organized parchments You can see several of these parchments are affixed to one of the walls on a patch that's not covered in mold and slime. They seem to be maps of Duskfall. I mean, they're instantly recognizable. There is also, as you enter, an unmoving figure in the corner of the room, about 6.5 feet tall, wearing a large, oversized cloak and a wide-brimmed hat. It does not move as you enter.
Does it look like the gondolier's uniform?
It does.
Does it look like almost an effigy of Griggs?
Perhaps.
I want to approach it.
Okay. It doesn't move. And indeed, as you get closer, presumably you have some sort of light source.
Yeah.
I don't need one.
You don't need one. No, you've got your beep. You'll be able to see this if you choose to look.
I have my pee.
Do you want me to say that I have a lantern on my my loadout?
Yes, please.
Great.
As you approach, it is indeed not an effigy so much as a mannequin. Faceless, formless, but carrying a dark, resplendent cloak, sort of a scarlet red, and again that sort of wide-brimmed hat made of straw and canvas that you recognize as the gondolier's hat. Now, if this is Grig's cell, either he has spare gondolier's clothing, or he's not wearing his gondolier's outfit at the moment.
Which could make sense.
Which could make sense if he's currently on a job, right?
Private mission, yeah.
What are you looking for in here?
Anything that like, if we feel that the whole room is full of like this arcane power, then I want to know where the source of that
Yeah,
is.
of course. How do you? Well, I mean, you can essentially feel the center of it as you move further into the room. Again, on the walls, right? Maps posted of the city of Duskfall, certain areas scribbled out or circled. It's a bit of a mess. You could study them and try to get a sense of what's going on in there, but you know, from a quick glance, it's clearly Duskfall and there's clearly markings. A small shrine on one of the desks. It is lit with low wax candles that have almost burned out. Whoever lit them either didn't intend to be away for long or has let them burn down quite low. They're protected, dishes or whatever. In amongst this sort of small shrine is a figure, a little, I want to say like a voodoo doll. That's not really appropriate, but you know what I mean? Like it's a small human-like figure, about 8 inches tall. It's been pierced through with a number of different needles, pieces of hay, something that might remind you, Liz, of a pine needle. There you go. That's the one reading. It absolutely stinks of, evil, for lack of a better word. It sits in amongst this shrine, and it practically glows with a sense of power. Again, there are, and as I've mentioned, there are other parchments and things strewn about the room. But this seems to be the source of the power that's coming off of this small cell.
I want to pick up the doll and pull a needle out.
Okay.
And see what happens.
I can tell you what happens immediately. This will apply to everybody. This will apply to everyone. Gaz is the first to cry out. He tries to stifle his cry and ends up kind of biting down on his own hand as he collapses into the gondola. And then the three of you feel it too. A searing, sharp pain just under your rib cage. It's unnatural. It feels as if you've been stabbed, but you haven't. You know you haven't. It's a pain that is almost unbearable. I'm going to need everyone to make a prowess I'm going to inflict level 2 harm on all of you. And I'm going to need everybody to make a prowess roll to try to mitigate this harm.
That's
6.
my cracked rib. Reduce this.
No, actually. John, you can mitigate the effects. You
6.
can mitigate the effects.
2.
You can spend 4 stress.
No, I can't.
Wait, you capped out your stress and took a trauma, but you still have a ton of stress?
Yeah, I just added a bunch more.
Okay.
To heal herself and
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Shit.
All right, so that means I'm at level 2 harm.
Yeah, piercing pain. That's boring.
And this was from taking the needle out?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Craigs, I'm gonna kick.
There is the pain. I mean, you're able to essentially tough it out. It's still present. It almost feels like something is inside of you growing. I mean,
This is spiritual in nature. Fix it.
Don't boss me around. I guess. I don't know what kind of like role I can make to.
Attune.
to
Yeah, I want to attune, but like with what purpose? Is it to figure out what the doll is, or would that be study?
I would try to attune to the thing to sever its connections so that it no longer hurts.
Is that a thing that I could do with
try to
attune?
do that, of course. Yeah.
Great.
This would be. This is a desperate action.
Yeah, that's how you get XP. Now you're speaking my
I
language.
just
You're essentially attempting to communicate with the world beyond the device to see what power it kind of has over you in this moment. Everybody, but over you specifically. Yeah. Standard effect.
You staring at yourself in a black mirror.
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I'm
I
trying to
am.
figure out what the fuck my bangs are doing.
6.
You've never seen this before. Wave, I
Okay.
assume, right? You were an herbalist before you were a physiker, before you were a criminal.
Correct.
The doll that's been made that you can that you are holding, I presume that you're still holding in your hand.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's been invested with a certain amount of energy, of course. It's been invested with the soul of a ghost.
bastard.
And it's being held in place by the pins, one of which you've withdrawn. By withdrawing that pin, it's managed to escape, and some of its power has reached out to try to take you. Oh, to try to take all of you. You've managed to resist for now. Options, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, you could burn the effigy. That would presumably release the ghost. I think that's probably a scary idea. You could try to put the pin back in. Somehow I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to do that.
Offer made. Offer made.
Offer made. You can't. I don't think you can undo the harm at this point in time.
That's okay.
But you could try to keep it from doing. Well, that's it. Yeah, you could leave it, or you could presumably attempt to destroy it in an attempt to free the Geist from its prison.
Geist.
Ghost, Geist, whatever.
Oh, cool.
Gast. Or you could keep it. Obviously, you could keep it with you and try to purify it later. I don't think now is perhaps the right time, but I leave it to you.
Okay, well, so I'm still tuned into the ghost field.
Yeah.
I wanna tell it like stop hurting me. I'm trying to free you.
You hear screams back. They're very loud and they are inside your bones. It is.
I'm really haunted.
It's truly a horrific experience.
I'm in a bad way, fam.
I'm just gonna presume that Gast is sitting here watching Waif be like, ah, like just horrible.
Well, I'm not cold, so I'm not going to leave her behind.
That's nice. You're like
Meanwhile, I'm
liability.
watching the rented guy, and if he gets too loud, he's going to sleep.
He's in a bad way. He understood to keep his mouth shut because he doesn't want to attract attention. He's starting to bite at his hand a bit more furiously.
That's fine.
He's starting to draw blood from his own
fine.
hand. Oh God, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
If his DNA is all over the crime scene, it's even better.
Yes. Fuck this
Yeah,
guy.
whatever we
Fuck
know
this
in
guy
this
in
thing, but
particular.
like, yeah, if his blood's here, like it's not my blood, that's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, so just let me know if he starts getting noisy.
I will let you know if he starts getting noisy. I will let you know he's starting to look like he might pass out.
I can wake him up. If he passes out, he'll be quiet and wake upable.
Oh my god, it's true. Someone will have to
Cold.
possibly pilot the gondola. Oh, you'll have to wake him
No,
up.
I'll slap him up. I'll
I
slap him
am
awake.
I'm a little worried that Thistle just sees win-wins in everything now.
I mean, if you're gonna win an RPG, you gotta, Zane. Where are you? I mean, where are you? I know you're in the cell as
her.
well. You're observing Waif as she seems to be struggling with something beyond your understanding. You can see, energy radiating off this like little doll thing, but it's presumably beyond your comprehension as to what it is. What's this? Were you here looking for something in particular as well? Like, were you here to...
I'm looking to kill a
You're looking to
motherfucker.
kill Griggs. He's not here. I don't know what to tell you. The meeting point, right? Presumably, the presumed meeting point is further afield.
This is already a lot of evidence that he's messing with spirits, right?
He's binding them with this. I have to destroy it. And it might kill me in the process. Sorry, Zane.
That's all right.
I have to do it.
No, you don't. I'm gonna steal it and just like rend it.
Oh, you want to do
Yeah, I'll destroy it.
Cool.
Yeah, that feels reckless and whatever your
Hey!
other thing is.
Vicious.
Vicious?
Stupid. Oh, yeah, vicious.
I don't know.
Sorry. I'm sorry, that's so rude. Okay, you're gonna
No, it's pretty stupid.
Reckless.
grab it out of his hand and just...
Yeah, I'm like she's feeling the hurt, the angst, and I don't want that. Waif is like my
Weird friend.
Sure,
Weird
thank
roommate.
you.
yeah. She's
My
like
weird friend.
yeah. She'll never get a chance to bone her ghost boyfriend now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I'll
Too
take it.
haunted.
And I'm gonna take it. I'm literally just gonna
Bone.
rip it in half.
Cool. Zane.
Say what?
Yeah.
There is only the sound of dripping water. The sound of the gondola knocking kind of slowly against the side where you've...
If this
tightened up.
gondola's a knocking,
don't...
someone's a
Someone's
rocket.
a rockin'. There you go. And then there is the sound of cloth tearing. A little bit of
Oh,
stuffing.
Oh, this was why it was dangerous.
Oh man! Yeah, a little bit of stuffing kind of falls to the floor. That tearing sound rends the air. It's quite loud. There's a brief pause. And then pouring out of this doll is a creature. It starts to fill the cell. It's not corporeal. It's more of a mist. But you can see in it the faces of everyone you've ever known and everyone you've ever killed. Which is maybe not too many people, actually, now that I think about it. I think you're... Oh, so Telda's there, though. You see Telda's face for sure.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh.
No big deal. The mist begins to slowly fill the room, and you can hear in your head, Zane, whispers that seem to grow louder and louder. I would like to call for you to make a resistance roll. This will be insight. Sorry. It wouldn't be prowess.
Prowess, resolve, insight.
Yeah, I think it would be resolve. What are the skills under resolve? I always mix up.
Attune,
Attune,
command,
consort,
consort,
sway.
Right, it's gonna be resolve. This is gonna be a resolve roll to mitigate the effect of the harm that's coming your way. This will not reduce the harm entirely. The harm that's coming your way from this action is level 3 harm,
Oh, whatever. I can survive that.
possessed.
I don't want that.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
God damn it.
So, ooh, what's happening here?
So you're asking me to mitigate it?
I'm asking you to make a resistance roll. Yeah, I suppose you can choose not to. I really leave that up to you. There are no downsides to not doing it. I think you would naturally try to
Sounds like
force.
there's a pretty big
this-
downside to that.
It feel like you're trying to push the spirit out.
All right, I'm taking stress.
Okay.
Am I allowed? No.
Oh, no, not on a resistance
not
roll.
a
No,
resistance
sorry.
roll.
Is that your insight?
No. 4.
Okay. You may take 2 stress if you so desire.
Yep.
This will reduce your harm to level 2. Mildly possessed. No.
Just your arm.
Spiritually
Voices in your
unsettled.
head.
Oh.
It's like spiritually unsettled. This is why Scott is the ST and not I.
You're like, Ellie Spot, I was just trying to read the end of your story, and that's very funny. Hashtag Thistle Vibes. You can see this go down.
Zane,
and
what did you do?
I can only assume, Thistle, that you can also see this. Bless you.
Pardon me.
That's the spirit leaving us.
Yeah.
You can also, Thistle, I can assume, you can see Zane, the sound of this doll rending, and then a mist erupting out of it, pouring into every orifice in your face.
Oh, all holes filled.
Oh, baby!
Ah.
In
It's
your
not nice.
face.
God, that's at least 5. Depends if you count eyeballs.
Oh, I count eyeballs.
7.
Sorry. Otherwise, the mist dissipates. Waif, you feel as if you've heard hundreds of voices cry out all at once, and then fall silent.
Did they seem
Oh, Alderaan
happy?
just blew up.
Do they seem happy? Was that your
Yeah,
question?
do they seem happy to be free? Or like,
No.
Well, they're living rent free in my head now.
I wouldn't say.
you're so lucky.
I wouldn't say happy. I would. Nice.
Hey, your boyfriend's in here. He says not to call him.
Damn it, Zane. So, oh god. I wouldn't say happy, but there are cries of triumph amidst the cries of for help. And then they fall silent. It's a heavy silence, Waif, as if something is coming.
God.
Zane.
Holy shit.
It was a little noise importante.
The creature that has entered into your mind, you're strong enough of will to be able to essentially grit your teeth and focus on the task at hand.
Killing a guy.
Killing a guy. The creature in your mind is an amalgamation of a number of spirits that were trapped within this doll. You may receive flashes of insight or help from this creature. You may also receive violent commands to kill. You already have those, so maybe it won't be such a big deal. This is where you're at.
Zane, can you hear me?
We have to go.
Can I sense anything else in this room? Or
Anything else?
has the arcane energy kind of lessened since the destruction of the doll?
Yeah, the echoes of it remain because it is, it was a powerful kind of artifact, but yeah, it's lessened significantly. Kind of congregated inside your friend's head, but that's okay.
The last thing I want to do is study the parchments.
Yeah, of course. This is, it's risky if you want to do it quickly.
I'm just going to start gathering crap and taking it to Thistle
Yeah, sure.
on the gondola.
Crap.
Put
Okay,
in the
cool.
boat.
Yeah.
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 Be like, Thistle, I found some, I don't know.
You're looking.
I'm a little
just
distracted
trying
at
to
the
figure out what the.
Because
Organization
earlier
of
you
the
were like,
splash.
if I could study
Yes.
it to try to understand
Carefully drop
what
into
he's
the
planning.
water.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I want to see if I can glean anything.
You can try to see if you can glean
This is
anything.
the end of a toilet paper roll. What the fuck?
3.
Take. Splash.
There are sites, like, there are areas circled on the map of Duskfall. They all seem to be in waterways, but beyond that, there's no notation as to what they might indicate. You recognize an X over the place where you attended the gala?
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna follow Zane, keeping a close eye on him.
You've been bringing stuff out to Thistle.
Yep.
Thistle, are you... I mean, I know you're kind of parsing through the stuff, but are you looking for anything in particular amongst Grig's effects in here?
Anything that seems out of place.
Mhm.
So if it's just like, oh look, he has like a boring novel to read, great, who cares? Into the, like, literally just dropping it quietly into the
Into the
canal, but
water,
I'm like
yeah.
putting it like into the surface and then letting go sort of
Yeah.
thing, like just so it quietly goes into the water. But, you know, household stuff, because as he said, he's a bit off at the moment, so I'm just like, oh, roll of toilet paper.
Yeah, we don't need that.
But anything that seems like documents, especially since that's my specialty.
Yeah, of course.
But any objects that seem strange as well. If he has like a crystal ball or some shit, I'd be like, this is the pile for Waif to look at.
Well, definitely the doll, the two halves of the doll would be pretty strange. You can kind of sense that there was power within it, but it's dissipated.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like,
I'll start with
that seems like it's full of energy. I'm not touching it.
Not anymore.
because we didn't.
Not anymore.
Don't we start with stress
Keep.
equal to our trauma?
So, in terms of documentation,
Yeah.
it's actually quite light on documentation. There were maps provided, which unfortunately Waif didn't have much luck kind of deciphering.
That's fine.
Marks in, essentially areas circled in waterways around Duskfall. An X over the Gala location. In terms of actual documents, there's no legal documentation around his activities, around his identity. There are a number of parchments with runic script on them. I don't know if anyone would have a sense of how to sort of... This is not a language that's like known to you. But they seem to bear odd inscriptions.
What
Mystery.
type of what does runic script fall under?
That's a great question.
Right? Like, is this
Study?
attuned studies? Like,
You could study it to try to... I mean, there are additional markings in the margins on some of the documents. So you could probably study it.
Mrs. Griggs Danfield.
and that's kind of it of remarkable things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some porn magazines.
Oh.
I want to check if there are any marks
Gondolier's Weekly.
in the canals that are between us and our destination
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
which I feel like is just look at the map.
Mhm.
And then...
Greg?
yeah.
Let's go to the map.
I feel good! I would want to actually try to decipher to see if I can get any lead on the runic scripts.
Yeah, of course. Great. I can give you some information about that.
Yeah.
That's good, Scott. You should be able to. This is the map of Six Towers. Number 2 there is the park. Mist Shore Park. Mist Shore Park, yeah. Just to the north of that, there's a relatively large waterway that runs through there, dividing Six Towers from Brightstone. Brightstone above it. There's a series of narrower waterways that lead down towards the park, one of which has a circled region. So it's right near your destination, but you will pass by it.
How much time would it cost us to circumvent it?
Just to go around?
Yeah.
No more than a few minutes.
I would opt to circumvent it
Great.
in
That's
our path.
There's no time.
That makes sense. So we got this. Your other question had to do with studying the runes. I should mention as well the objects that you put into the river.
Yeah.
There's nothing sinister about it other than there's nothing sinister. The water swallows them up in a way that's not quite natural. The water essentially...
There's like a little bit of a bubble or whatever
Yeah,
as
that
it
kind
does
of
it.
closes over things. Again, it doesn't... It's...
I start holding things by like the far corner as I do
yeah,
so, rather than like, I'm like, no, how do I risk the least
100%.
contact? Great.
Does anyone want to maybe assist in this studying that you're going to attempt
I can
to
assist.
do? Yeah.
I can't. Well, I
it.
guess I could, but it would not help
It would
you.
probably not help you be like, does it say blood?
I only have one to study, so should I also be handing it off to...
I only have one as well.
Okay, go team.
How would you care to assist? How would you want to assist?
Take some parchments. I'll look harder at the rune ones
It'll
just to
cost
see
you stress
to help.
to assist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
One?
How much?
One?
Assist a teammate.
I think it's
Take one stress to give another player +1 die. You may also suffer consequences from the roll. Only one person may assist a roll.
Let me do it. I have more stress than you. If I'm just helping,
if
I
it's
don't
+1
need...
die, yeah. You
Yeah.
don't require study to make it happen.
enough.
I'll leave it to you, please. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
cool?
all right.
How much stress do you
I have 4 left.
have? Okay, yeah. So I have...
Are we tied now?
Yeah, now we're tied. But-
Nice. Oh man.
Okay, there you go. I'm
Team
helping
drama.
out.
Great. What would you offer as a devil's bargain?
I would offer as devil's bargain.
I'll let you have an extra die, but I get to sleep with your wife for one night.
Whoa! Now that's a
I have
devil's
a
bargain.
wife.
Decent proposal.
Yes, I have a wife.
Your proposal is exactly. Oh,
Sweet.
sweet! I'm married. Nice. That's a good question.
That's Demi Moore, Robert Redford, and
I would offer you.
Such and such.
fuck.
Oh man. I'm just gonna see if I can do this. Yeah, no, that's kind of boring. No, it's okay. I was just like, oh, this. But I would offer you knowledge of. Ooh, okay, hang on. The point of deciphering this is to figure out what these runic scripts
about.
might
Yeah.
have to do with, right? Oh man, I really want to offer you the right one here. I'd offer you 2 ticks on that same clock reinforcements by taking the time.
Are we at any ticks yet?
No, we
No.
have 0 ticks.
By taking the time to do this, even if you're on your way out,
Take it.
your focus.
Now, is it
Be honest.
reinforcements broadly speaking or reinforcements here?
It is broadly speaking.
For the score.
It is for the score.
Take it.
No, I'll
I'm
take
not
the
saying
2
what it is.
stress.
Oh, all right.
We
Sorry,
can handle
Scott.
reinforcements.
Sorry, Scott. I know you spent all that time thinking of
No, this guy, I was like, oh, take 1 stress. I was like, that's not a good thing.
5.
Okay, nice. Your consequence is 3 ticks on the. No, I'm just kidding.
Piece of shit.
That'd be so mean. No, so the effect will be somewhat reduced.
Yeah.
It is not a language that you know. None of you. I mean, Zane, I know you're directly assisting in the attempted sort of translation of this, while
isn't-
Fizzle attempts to sort
What the
of.
hell? This doesn't even have any pictures.
How am I supposed to read this, huh? However, the layout of the document, the way that each sort of quote unquote line or paragraph seems to start with the same couple of runes. If you knew how to read it aloud, it would sound like a chant, right? Because it would start with the same phrase every time. These documents must have some sort of purpose for summoning or dispelling a spell. Now, despite the fact that you live in a haunted Victorian steampunk landscape, magic isn't something that's within the realm of humanity that you know of. People don't just, it's not X-Men or whatever, right? Like, people don't just walk around with powers. But this appears to be some sort of instructions for a spell. What it does, how to read it, beyond you.
Tuck it into my jacket. So, I totally know what these say, friends.
What did they say?
What do they say?
Enough for me to make him spill his beans. Spill the
Guts.
guts.
Tea.
Spill your.
Seed?
No! No,
Spill the beans. Isn't
Spill the
that a
beans
thing?
is the
Yeah,
expression.
okay,
It's an
great.
early
Enough for him
manuscript
to
for
spill the
50
beans.
Shades of Grey.
No.
Yeah.
I call it 3 shades of black shadow. Needs some revisions.
Is there anything else we want to do here before we skedaddle with
I
our
seem to recall people
rent?
were getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, we
taking
should
a
probably
break?
go.
We were just
gonna-
about to take a break. I wanted to let us know that we're bamfing out of here, and on our way to the meeting place, the ambush point with Griggs. But yes, we'll take a short break here. For those of you watching, thanks for joining us at RPG Clinic. We're going to take a short break, 5 minutes or so, get our bearings, refill our drinks, get our water,
What?
and then jump back in with
Yes,
second
Granny.
part of
Thank you.
Whispers in the Water, Blades in the Dark.
Yeah.
You're not getting up?
No,
I'm
because I
gonna
got up
clean
earlier.
my glasses.
Yeah.
Do you?
It's distracting.
Could you
Oh,
also
okay.
do that? There we go. I've sent you and Liz off with a task each.
I'll take mine after this as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
something that came up in chat earlier that I want. Oh, arrhythmia?
should I scroll?
I don't know. I have no idea. Something came up that I was going to comment on. Now it's gone.
Was it
So.
Ellie Spot's long?
Thing about
long?
arrhythmia? I don't
Not
think so,
long,
but I don't know what.
I think that was pretty funny.
It was.
I quite liked that. If you're still here, Ellie Spot, I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
To all those people who are here, I just thanked you, but I'll thank you again. We've had lots of subs and resubs. We also, big hearts. And like, you know, a note, of course, that we'll be doing our little post-show chat after the stream, where we're going to be talking about what's next on RPG Clinic for this remainder of this calendar year, and probably not into next, but we can like tease a little bit, I
A
think.
few of the things that we're looking at. Yeah.
Exactly. So that people know what to expect.
Roof schedules. Thank you.
Yeah, rough schedules, exactly. But I'm really excited that we're kind of in the middle of this last sort of like episode. I think it's really cool. Oh, perfect, Ellie Spot. Hang on. Well, now I have to. So my apologies for my dialect work, but it's coming at you right now. Oh, that's not a problem. They faint within minutes, and then you can defibrillate, and then you can defibrillate. Oh, it's like a charming, you know, professor. Heavy. I like that. Heavy
Also,
German accent. Yeah. So we'll be doing that after the stream today. I also just kind of want to say, like, it's yes, nailed it. Good.
Nailed it.
I still can't get over Ellie Spot and Orangey the other day on stream and Crosshair were all like, "Oh, Scott, like, you know languages, huh? Like, here, take that."
Random Swedish,
take
random Finnish.
Take these random things, and then apparently it was quite good. And I did indeed listen to the lullaby afterwards, and didn't sleep again that night. But
Oh my!
I couldn't stop laughing. It was wild.
Well, am I right in that you did a little bit of German Duolingo or something?
I did.
Yeah.
Ages. Yeah.
I feel like at least it's in that.
It's in a German.
It's vaguely in that
family.
direction
Yeah, of course.
linguistically, as opposed to like plain English, which relates to Germanic, but not so much. Well, it finishes off in its own little branch.
Yeah, all the way over there.
That diagram that I love to repost indicates, but yeah.
Oh yes, it's a good one. Yep. Ellie Spot, years ago, I did a gig for an old professor of mine. Actually, she was doing actor training for medical professionals, mostly doctors, at McGill University here in Montreal. There's a lot of like tools that we have in the theater that, you know, a lot of drama professors and actors feel like translate to other careers. Now, I'm not saying that isn't true. As an actor myself, I tend to think that it does, but I do think it's also a little like it's pretty that's what I'm looking for, like when you're really high and mighty, you know, it's a little superior to be like, I know you know how to do your job, but like, trust me, I know people.
Trust me, I'm an actor.
Trust me, I'm an actor. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
However, well, okay, no, so there you go, Ellie Spot. And I feel like there are things that are pretentious. There you go, Bramster. What we were doing that day was like status work, so kind of the idea of like, what physicalization do you put out into the universe, and how can you use it to garner respect? If you don't have enough status, people don't take you seriously, they ignore you. If you have too much status, or if you take too much of the space in the room, you might intimidate people. That they look clean as hell. Wow, That's awesome. In doing this work, because it was at 5 or 6 a.m., I think it was 6 a.m. on a Wednesday or something, I was not awake. In doing this training, while attempting to intimidate a bunch of doctors, I fully tripped and fell on a set of stairs, like face first, not down the stairs, but up the stairs. Thank goodness. And let me tell you, it was a really, really strange. So it was funny, but it was a really strange sensation to then get up and try to intimidate people with nothing more than my eyes after I had just tripped and fallen in front of all of them. It was pretty ridiculous.
They're like, no, I'm status 9.
Trust me, I'm a 9. Yeah, exactly. Oh, bad news. Anyway.
Do you want to take some
Yeah, I
break?
do. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to be muted. You just walk away. So I'm not muted. So don't punch the mic away.
I didn't hurt myself.
Good job. Kudos to you, Ellie Spot, though. I know that there was a course I had at one time that was on the Canadian Charter of Rights. I think it was something very legal, but the teacher had a very thick accent, so I either had to pay full attention to him, or just like it was just noise. So if I was ever tired, and it was always the last class on my Wednesday that was really busy or something, and the classroom was really hot, it was so hard to focus. So like kudos I don't know. It's something that I find sometimes as a student that there were certain teachers it was hard to stay focused on. There was also another one that was very smart, loved him to bits, very nice guy, but he had such a calming voice that, again, last class of a very busy day, it'd just be like, oh yes, tell me about the history of theater.
I knew exactly what you were talking
Of
about
course.
without even
Wait,
saying
are you
it,
falling
of course.
asleep or are you just like
Falling
in love?
No, falling asleep. Like, yeah, that's right, you know so much. You don't have to think because you know it all. Like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever had a crush on a teacher? I'm not talking necessarily of like a super romantic crush or something, but someone who's just like, oh, that guy, he's so dreamy. Or, you know, doesn't have
No, I mean, I thought that one of the profs was so good at lecturing one of my electives at Concordia that made him attractive. He wasn't like conventionally
That's fair.
Competence is
physically,
hot.
but like he made the subject matter so interesting, and like I just genuinely looked forward to the lectures because I loved like listening to it. So yeah, I guess.
I feel the Ellie's butt. Yeah. Yeah.
Yarp. Yarp.
Competence, though, goes such a long way.
Yeah. When people people don't realize how much of a skill lecturing is. Mm-hmm. Like,
God, yeah.
they're the ones that just read off the slides, and they're great slides, but like
Yeah.
that's all they do. And he like never used any slides. He just talked, and like it just sounded like he was having a conversation.
And a few profs who'd be like, you know, they'd like write the sort of topic of the moment on the board and be like, oh yeah, you know, this moment in this war. But like by the end of the day, they'd maybe written like 10 titles on the board and that's it, sort of thing. Like, yeah. My thing was mentioning that actors are puppets, and I definitely had a professor who made the claim that actors were just puppets, and it pissed me off to no end.
Well,
I'm
sure.
sure you all maybe remember who that was, but yeah, rude. They're much more than puppets.
I
They are
feel like
independent human beings.
We would have rushed the stage had we been there, you know.
Good thing I was a year after you then.
It depends on what year, I think.
Yeah,
It was
super
2
funny.
11. Like,
First years of like, yes, I am a puppet.
You're right.
It was prod to 11.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see.
Tell me how terrible I am.
While taking a test, damn.
Break me down, build me back up. That's how real actors are made.
Exactly. I'm an empty husk of a human. Charisma and knowledge is
Speaking
sexy,
of-
and I agree with this.
Empty husks of a human.
Yay!
All of us! 'Cause we're haunted and cold and
It's just,
unhinged.
Reckless and
Reckless.
vicious.
the point is,
Reckless and vicious
you're
equals
gonna get
unhinged.
rich, and you're gonna accomplish something.
Or die trying.
Or die trying. The
We'll
question
most
is it
certainly
going
die
to
trying.
be worth it? Let's get back into it, yeah?
Segway.
Segue. We need one of these, I think.
That's how I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna lecture him directly from the slides.
Oh, no!
Oh.
The scientific method. Step 1, form a hypothesis.
Click. Oh, God. All right. Gaz is looking worse for wear as he continues to shiver and chatter. But he is able to drive the gondola well enough up and down some of the back lanes, as it were, of Duskfall. You're aiming for the Miss Shore Park, right? Which was the delivery point for Griggs, where you plan on, I believe, confronting him. If I'm not mistaken, that's the idea. Many of the waterways are actually quite empty tonight, which is a little surprising. You don't always encounter someone on the water, but it'd be as if multiple different streets had no cars, right? It gets a bit odd after a while. As you approach Miss Shore Park, you're taking care to avoid one of
specific
that
marking.
marked regions. Ahead of you, on a bridge, so you're it's still some ways off, but it's coming up, and it is the direction in which you're headed. On the bridge are a patrol of bluecoats. They seem to be watching the water. They seem to be watching the riverways. I mean, what the hell do you do?
Are there rules against gondoliering down the canals?
No. Not for gondoliers.
Oh, we should have stolen his friggin' uniform.
I mean, that's maybe a bit. Well, yeah, no, it's a good point.
I would like to establish a
How many
to last scene.
blue coats do I spy?
3.
I can take 3.
Let's see if we can convince them first, but if not, I'm down.
As you drift towards them, Gaz is kind of. The gondola's like pulling to one side.
If he seems like he's in a bad way, then I'm going to pull out my fine bottle of whiskey to offer him some to,
A nip of courage.
a nip of courage, a bit to steady himself.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. He takes it quite gladly, and through chattering teeth, he tries to tell you of the feeling of heaviness in his stomach that settled below it. You know,
I felt it too.
what the hell is it?
Doesn't matter. We're gonna deal with it. As long as you don't cause us our attempts to solve it.
He looks at the blue coats. There's panic behind his eyes.
I'll take care of them. You take care of playing your role.
Yeah.
I give like a little tap to the bottom of the bottle. Drink up. You can be drunk.
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
care.
We're gonna tap his ass. Just be like, that's it, buddy.
You got it, buddy.
Go for it, sport.
No, I'm cold. My heart is completely iced over. There's no
What
warmth.
is his ass?
That's Duskwell's ass.
This is an efficient action. Go get them, buddy.
Go get them, buddy. Takes another swig. You do indeed hear a blast of a whistle from above as the 3 bluecoats descend sort of the very steep stairway. Halt! Pull over.
Pull over.
He does. It kind of bumps the side a few times as it pulls up, scraping alongside the bluecoats.
Trainee.
Who is this then? He motions to Gaz in the back.
Griggs has decided that because we're friends, he would let us have his new trainee. Odd way to treat your friends.
Griggs. The
Gondolier.
bluecoat looks at his compatriot. You're
On first name basis. And he's decided to treat his friends to his new trainees.
right.
What's the problem, officer?
No problems for friends of Griggs, of course. We're doing spot checks. We need to make sure that people aren't out when it's dangerous. Someone pulls this guy back, the other one, and he steps
Is there
forward.
danger afoot?
In Duskfall, always.
Well, we were just headed to the three-legged goat for dinner. I'm gonna assume, or insert next meal or whatever time here.
Of course, yeah.
11sies.
Yeah.
That's where we get the good mushrooms.
We're just
Mushroom,
headed
mushroom.
to the three-legged goat for dinner. Is there trouble ahead?
Not that we know of. We've received reports that the waterways may not be safe. After the incident at the Eruvian Ambassador's Gala, which has been the talk of the town, I'm sure you heard of it, we're asking people to stay out of the waterways for now, despite the convenience. We're happy to provide you with an escort to the three-legged goat. In fact, perhaps we should all go there together. And he clicks his fingers.
I have a cracked rib, sir. I find the waters much more calming for means of travel. Are you suggesting I go by cart? I do fear it will worsen my condition unless you have a doctor on hand.
He looks at his 2 compatriots and just laughs. No, doctor on hand. No, we don't. You can take the cobblestone streets if your cracked rib doesn't mind, or you can perhaps find this gondola at the bottom of the canal.
By your hand, sir?
Fate.
By your hand, sir.
Fate. Not mine. Are you cranky boxing?
We have
You might not be able to tell what you're doing if you want to do that.
I would like to.
Cool, done.
Griggs would be most displeased if this trainee wasn't able to complete what is his first solo ride. Listen, he scares me. I'm sure that he's not. Maybe it would be best if we just let this one play out and then we could move on.
How much time do your trainee require on the water?
Insert amount of time it takes for us to get to where we're planning to go.
That's the ticket. Not too many more minutes.
Yeah.
It would be
Add an extra 5.
Yeah.
for dumping bodies.
Well, for like not
No.
going
Dump it.
specifically to
Can
the
you get
target
dump?
zone.
I told you it wasn't going to be fast.
Nice. It's so ridiculous. They nod, and then the one in front says, just a moment, and he turns around, and you can hear hurried, whispered conversation. All right, we'll draw straws. Yeah, shortest one goes with him, make sure everything's all right. Shortest one? Why isn't it the longest one? No, it has to be. That's how you draw straws.
I'm going to reach into my pocket for my find cover identity.
Always and forever.
And this time I have prepared one that is an associate of the Aruvian ambassador himself, with a forged signature from Inspector
Volai, sure.
Volai. I keep thinking Gamash because of 3 pints.
Of course. So was I.
Do that to assist me on a sway action,
Okay.
because then I can
Great.
sway him to. That's not going to be necessary. You can see that we are being accompanied by.
Inspector Dava.
Spectre.
Naom Delafield-Nad.
Naomi de la Field now.
Oh, I don't know. Are you gonna
It's
crit this roll or
Maradona.
what? He's not looking. He's looking a bit suspicious.
We're being accompanied by a member of the Aruvian Assembly already.
Not to be rude, but this is probably above your clearance.
Yeah, he looks at it and
Feel free to take as many notes as you wish, because I assume there aren't like cameras.
no,
Yeah.
he does not have.
And I have a copy of a signed affidavit, and I'm gonna just bring out an affidavit that again seems to be with the same signature, so it's a matching signature between the two documents.
Of course.
From Inspector Volai, that allow all persons accompanying Inspector Dava passage on their way for this important task in relation to the incident at the Aruvian ambassador's mansion at exactly this time in this exact address, blah blah blah, like as many details to make it seem as
Of
efficient as
course.
possible.
I have a feeling he's going to be writing a very strange report later, but perhaps that report won't matter. I think a sway roll is going to
So
be very
you've
nice.
helped me out?
Yes,
This
I've
is
assisted you without paying
absolutely-
stress.
Which is great assistance.
You have a devil's bargain for me?
I mean, probably. See, the problem is, one of the devil's bargains, I'll say this to people in chat, one of the devil's bargains, you can offer long-term consequences, but if this is the end of this little mini campaign, perhaps they won't take these consequences so with the weight they are owed, perhaps. Yeah, 2 ticks to reinforcements would be my devil's bargain.
How many ticks do we have already?
None. Yeah.
Cool, I'll take it. Oh, and that means that I get that. I crit.
Ah, you love it. I mean,
Give us your weapons.
you don't also get their
Give
weapons.
us your gondola.
Like you kill Griggs.
You guys kill Griggs.
that.
Can you imagine? Oh, shit, yeah, let's kill Griggs. That's a great idea. These three creepers have the idea. The one who is now in charge after the other one kind of was reduced to a bit of a nervous wreck. He nods very formally. You're right about one thing. It's definitely above my pay grade, that's for sure. I don't want to be involved in this mess any further. Will we be seeing you return this way, or are you never going to darken our door again?
As you say, the canals may be quite dangerous to be traveling on this evening. And perhaps for days to come.
I understand. Well,
I'm glad you saw it right away.
I'll make sure that Inspector Villi knows you were helpful in this matter, officer.
I'm gonna say Danvers.
Gives me a name, that's fine.
God
but-
fucking damn it.
Hollyhock.
Hollyhock! Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of names.
Okay.
lying
Why are
around
you
actually.
recording this?
Why not?
It's evidence of our fucking lives.
It's for our memoirs.
Wait, what?
But I never learned to write.
For
Officer
stage
Dunridge.
production.
Who? Dunridge?
Dunridge.
Dunridge.
There we go. That's a name.
More like Dungridge, am I right?
I do make a point of
Yes.
writing it down in like a little notebook. Thank you.
I've had enough of people making fun of my name.
It's our
Well, Officer
pleasure to
Dungridge.
not be involved with whatever you have going on. I would also
Killing
perhaps
physicers.
not mention to Griggs the young man's state tonight. He looks a little worse for wear.
I think he was looking for a little bit of too much liquid courage.
Of course. Not up to the challenge, are you, boy? Gaz vomits over the side of his gondola.
There, and I give him a very light tap on the shoulder, like I'm not trying to whack him or anything.
yeah, of course, yeah.
There.
Better out than in.
I mean, holy shit, that's funny. They wave you on, and
Do tell Griggs to be kinder to his friends in future.
I will be doing no such thing. I'd rather
Good
stay
evening,
far away.
sir. Good evening. Actually, I'm going to use this fucking name. Good evening, Mr. Dunridge.
Officer Dunridge.
Yeah,
Mr.
that's Officer Dunridge, Steve. And he doesn't say that's funny. He waves you on, and as you presumably continue along, he turns back to his compatriots, and you can see them kind of like arguing amongst themselves.
And don't forget, Gaz, if you're ever doing a multiple choice test, it always goes A, B, A, B.
All blue kid.
Except for when the answer is none of the above.
None of the above. Oh, man. Okay, well that's for another day.
Ask him about it in the Discord.
Yeah, ask him about me. Ask me about none of the above.
me.
Ask him about me on the Discord. All right, Miss Shore Park. Are you assisting with the gondola?
I
Oh,
would
sorry.
like to
Are you
assist
still?
with
Do
the
you still
rowing.
need to be recording? Or are you gonna keep
mean-
it recording for now?
I think I'm gonna keep it recording for now.
As
Know what you
you,
might pick up.
the gondola, once again, kind of rounds a corner, and what comes into view is Miss Shore Park. It would be beautiful by our eyes here. Let's get suspenseful, shall we? It was a lot, eh?
Dee-dee-dee.
It would be beautiful if the trees were in bloom. If it was spring in Tokyo, I don't know. It is not. Many of the trees here are overgrown, twisted, and gnarled. The weeping willows bend over the canals nearby. The dark water laps against the sides of the canals. It's a relatively large park. Like, it's not Central Park, but you wouldn't be able to sort of run across it in a couple of minutes. Sort of closer to the size of like Parc La Fontaine. There you go. Relatively large.
It's the size of several city blocks. for
Yeah,
those
there you
not
go.
familiar with
Yeah,
that.
that more or less
4
holds up
city
via the
blocks,
map.
but-
Sure, yeah, there you go.
8
Sure.
city blocks.
Looks good on the map. You can see wind kind of rustling the treetops and blowing various debris and garbage along the ground. You were to meet Griggs here, beneath one of the larger trees. He has not yet arrived, but this is where he is due to show up, yeah?
My intention was to say he's going somewhere else.
Right.
We're going to ambush
You're
him
gonna ambush
en
him.
route.
Yeah, right. Of course, yes. My apologies. So his gondola will take him alongside,
Yeah.
basically where yours is tied up. Perhaps.
Yeah.
He has not yet come around the corner. Are there any preparations people want to make?
It was mostly just if he knows that we're going to be, like, if he knows we're ambushing him, my hope is that he's not expecting it yet. That's all. that I care to clarify.
Of course, yeah, of course.
But yeah.
Is there anything above us?
You shortly.
Tree branches. There are a couple stone bridges that cross that arc over the canal. There's sort of like a large trellis at one point, which would be for climbing vines. So that's above you. No like buildings or anything. No like large.
Which one of those would be the one most easy to conceal myself against from above?
Probably the trellis.
I'll take
It's
the trellis.
Not perfect, but you can do it.
I have a fine shadow cloak.
My God, what's that cloaked figure above me?
What's that shadow?
What's that shadow
What's
up
that
there?
strange shadow?
Oh my God. Okay. Is there anything that you are doing to sort of prepare yourself, Wave? I'm just curious.
Well, if he's passing by in his gondolier and we want to ambush him, I feel like we should disable his gondolier.
His gondola.
A gondolier.
Yeah.
We'll
You should
disable the
disable him.
gondolier.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be
Disable
disabling
his-
the gondolier, don't worry.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I have been working on an invention that's sort of like road spikes, but for a gondola.
I'm sorry. Explain this to me, please. Road
So-
spikes, but for a gondola.
Yeah. So it's like
I can picture it.
it's disguised to look like seaweed, but as soon as someone drives over it, it's actually weighted down, so it touches the bottom of the canal and it shreds the bow of the gondola.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like slightly submerged barbed wire or
Exactly.
something like that. But yeah.
What the fuck?
Bow hits the spikes.
Spikes.
And that'll
You will
force
have
him
a bad
to
night.
run aground, where our fine shadow-cloaked man will jump onto him. Yeah, submerged dragon's teeth, exactly.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I bet I can hold my breath for 7 minutes. I'll wait underneath with
going
an
to
awl.
After I feel like, what's his face?
Coming back to
Our gondolier,
Great. Oh, no, Gaz.
Gaz and Griggs.
So many
kill
I
him.
don't
Gs,
think I
know
wrote
what that
down Gaz, so I'm just gonna write it down again.
It's a liability. Kill him and take the gold
Once
back.
I feel like Gaz has had quite a good amount of this fine whiskey. It's not just like regular
Oh,
Blanc.
sure,
It's,
of course.
As my sheet says, a fine bottle of whiskey.
fine bottle of whiskey.
I'm going to take it back from him, and I'm going to top it off with a vial of slumber essence, just as I prepare.
Okay. So that the next person who drinks it will be
Sleeping.
sleepy.
More so than just drinking the alcohol.
Yeah. It probably doesn't function like a knockout poison, especially if you're already like
Yeah.
awake. But
Yeah.
If you're already drowsy,
However, vial of slumber essence works in the book.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than Dimetap. Okay.
Yeah, it goes into the liquor bottle rather
Yeah,
than just being in a random bottle.
Exactly. Good night, Orangia. Thank you for joining us. Cool. Liz. Creating this is an action that you would have to have taken as a flashback, because I think it's a really cool thing that you've created. The idea that you would have been able to create it kind of all at once, too stress.
All right, let's do it.
Sorry, I think it's a good idea though, but
Well, otherwise, what are our options? He'll just sail by us.
I mean, he'll be moving by you, yeah.
You could just throw a grenade into his boat as
a
he goes by.
grenade.
Yeah, if that, yeah.
No, I leave it. I certainly leave it to you. I think this is cool, but
The thing is, if I spend too stressed, then I'm like really fucked for this big encounter. So I should not. So I'm just gonna throw a grenade in his boat.
okay. Yeah, I mean, you could also potentially leap on board.
No, I totally understood what you were doing, and so I helped you with the calculations for the width of this particular stretch of canal. And I helped with the basic tasks of like measuring out the lengths of rope. So I was extra hands while you were building our trap, which we specifically tailor-made to the width of this
Yes.
section of canal.
I love it.
I'll allow it.
I'm assisting you. I'm adding a die. Have you already rolled?
No.
No. So I'm assisting you in adding a die, if that helps.
But I still have to spend too stress, right?
No.
Oh.
This assistance is going to mitigate the stress.
Oh.
The roll will not be necessary because the item will work.
It's gonna super suck when like two kids are like, "Oh, we're on an adventure. We're on a. Oh my God! I'm drowning.
matter.
Who's that guy? Ah!"
I think I've rigged it so that if I'm hiding like in the bushes next
It
to the
feels like you
fucking,
have to
I can
pull the
like pull it up
tripwire, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is your second usage of this
Yes.
ability. though.
Yay.
That's okay. I am fine with this.
None of us are getting out of this alive.
The wind whistles in the treetops, and you hear far away down the lane a plaintive song. It is indeed when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. It is not.
Oh.
This is a funeral dirge that is sung by gondoliers around. Sorry, it's an old folk song. Smoke on the water.
Oh.
Bam, bam, bam. Oh fuck! I gave myself
Oh,
away.
he's coming. But you can hear the voice of Griggs floating across to you as he sails down this area. He does indeed seem to have a small chest in the back of his gondola, which is presumably the smuggling kind of
Project
smuggled
assigned. Yeah.
goods that he's to transport
I
back.
wouldn't have made it too hard to tamper with, but I would have made sure that it would be obvious if it had been.
Okay. Nice.
And I would have put something that looks kind of like a bomb.
Inside?
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. Okay. Well,
I maybe would have gotten her as well. But like the point is, it doesn't until such point as I decide to have a flashback about it. I'm not going to describe the exact details.
Dude,
about
I can
it.
have a flashback and I'm not even going to be trying. I'll just be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he starts to sail up
Sal.
up the canal. He's coming close to your trap, and he will be shortly beneath the trellis. Liz, what do you do?
I yank
That's what I like to hear.
to slash at his boat.
There's a creaking sound as this sort of false seaweed extends across the water, and then the crunching scrape of metal on wood. You can hear a sharp cry of surprise from Griggs as the gondola kind of twists and almost falls. It almost tips, but it ends up perpendicular to the width of the canal as he throws a rope and starts to tie off so that he can examine his danger. He immediately reaches under his cloak and is looking for signs of danger. How are people concealed? You're hiding in a bush somewhere.
I'm in a bush.
You're on a trellis.
I would have ducked behind a similar bush, but a different one.
But a bigger one. Yeah.
A different one.
Oh, a different one. Sorry. Doesn't have to be
Similar,
bigger. He immediately reaches under his cloak. You can't see what he's got in his hand.
I don't give a fuck.
No, I bet you don't.
Here's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm going to drop down just like the equivalent of just like a bungee cord around my waist. I am going to drop down. I'm going to slam my own climbing gear around his body and then yank on the cord so that it pulls him up, like right up the trellis so that he's hanging.
I mean, that's pretty badass. Yeah. So okay. You're going to dive, tie him off, and then hoist him up into the air.
That's right.
I love it.
Just jamming it right around his whole body, like right around his shoulders so that his arms can't move.
Okay. If you don't succeed in this,
He will kill you.
I mean, I imagine
it's
like
a surprise attack, right? You have the element of surprise. So the possibility here is quite great.
Yes, it is.
However,
It's pretty great.
the risk
Yeah.
is also quite great.
Would you say that this is a desperate action?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh,
Joel.
for fuck's
That works
sake.
for me.
I bet it does. What kind of act? I mean, this is like a daredevil kind of move, right? But
I would say this is either a prowl or a skirmish action.
Yeah. Prowl would be doing something
It's movement.
movement
The drop down.
secretly, more or less, right?
Yeah.
Skirmish is
Skirmish would be the
fighting.
attempting to
There we go.
wrestle that thing on him so that he can.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have that. That's fine. I don't think it makes a difference to you, does it?
It does
right
not.
now in this matter? Then let's call it a skirmish because he is going to be. You're going to be physically
I
interacting.
imagine
with
he's
the guy.
well. It means that the consequences of my failure are probably going to be pretty steep. Scott,
Yeah.
kind of a devil's bargain are you going to offer me here? 2 more ticks?
3 more ticks.
3 more ticks? Yep. Well, I mean, I don't care about that, but if you do, then sure.
How much are you rolling?
I have 5 dice currently.
So I would have helped in a similar manner to how I helped
Yeah.
my friend, with again the distance measurements, all of that, the very precision details, while my haunted and reckless friends were in their states. So I would give you the 2 dice and take the 2 stress. The die and take the 2 stress.
Yep, we'll do that
state
instead.
Instead of the devil's bargain.
Okay, great. That works for me.
Here we go.
I'm marking the 5 ticks.
Oh, we're not.
Oh, no,
taking
sorry,
that.
you just said that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
My apologies.
You take those ticks back.
Get that shit out of here.
5.
3 5s, but
Nary a sex to be seen.
John, this is... Zane is able to pull off this move
Mm-hmm.
because it's... because it is fucking awesome. The complication is that he will... I mean, we can talk about resisting this if you so desire. He's going to be able to wrap you up in his arms as you are both hoisted up into the sky. A lover's embrace of death. That's correct. It's a complication. By getting in this close, he was able to find a way to grab hold of you as well in the struggle to hoist you up into the air.
Your cold crewmate won't hesitate to
want
kill you.
to
if it means
resist this?
He doesn't get to make that mockery of me. I'm resisting.
Yeah, and you -1 for
Yep.
your... Yes, okay, great.
I'll take 1 stress.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Well,
We're getting hairy.
getting there.
getting there.
It's okay.
You fall silently off the trellis, land, wrap him up in a bundle of essentially ropes and belts and loops, and with a single massive pull, muscles straining against your eelskin suit, perhaps, I don't know.
I'm gonna burst out of it a little bit. Like, I'll let a seam split here and there.
It glistens. The skin, not the suit. I mean, whatever. Cheers. Griggs is hoisted up into the sky. The man looks taller than you remember. I mean, you've seen him before, of course, a couple of times. But now that he is outside of the confines of, like, under a bridge, he looks taller. He looks like 6.5 feet tall.
It's Rowan.
He... Can you imagine just, like, big beefcake? Possible. He is wearing a different cap, not his usual gondolier's hat, as you suspected, but a large cloak. And as the belts wrap up, you know, he tries to reach for you and is unable to kind of snatch it at your robe cloak before he's hoisted up into the sky. He looks down and there's a small glint of recognition in his one good eye. Griggs sports a glass eye as well, I should mention. And there's a hint of a smile revealing a couple of teeth. Many of them are not there.
Well. Isn't this interesting? You're gonna gut me like a fish, boy. Do you have the guts to do it? Come and get me. Do it!
He spits at you.
Coward.
He hasn't seen anyone else.
I stand from behind whichever bush I was hiding behind.
His head whips around so fast you can hear his neck crack. It's kind of gross. It's like, sorry.
And I withdraw from inside my coat
We win.
documents with runes on them.
His eye narrows and his glass eye kind of twitches a bit in its socket.
Interesting reading.
Very. I bet you wish you could.
Do you know anything about me? Do you know anything about my expertise with documentation, with ancient languages?
Honestly, I don't.
Your loss, good sir. And I want to gesture towards the other boat that's docked and the rent doll, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He looks down at the doll and then up at you, and then he doesn't. You're not there. And then to Zane, and his glass eye rolls a little bit in his socket.
You no longer have control. A few recitations, and I will. Or should I say my good friend, who is much more skilled in these arts. And I, hold out the documents as if this bush next to me can read them.
There is no response from the bush.
Yeah.
It's the wrong bush.
Yeah, no, of course, no, but there's no one else right there, so.
Yeah, I dart my hand out and grab it.
Oh God!
Disappear
So
back
creepy.
into the bush.
Right. I remember there were 3 of you. Who's that one down there?
He indicates
Nobody.
Gaz, yeah. Gaz does indeed look like he might have soiled himself.
You found some papers. Congratulations.
And that, I gesture again towards the boat.
A project. A promise of a better tomorrow for Duskfall.
Or for you.
Well, someone needs to be standing at the end of all things.
And I also extract the map with the indications on it, which includes the gala, and I'm going to tap the gala.
That's the problem with maps like those. They go out of date so quickly.
Yeah, once you send your little friends, or should I say enemies, or bound servants after a certain ambassador and his guests.
I had a feeling someone else was there. I never heard back from that poor, poor girl. She
only masqueraded as a beggar, and I crumple up one of the documents and throw it on the ground.
Oh, no, I know all about that. She was my point of contact with the Wraiths. She wanted it just as much as I did. I thought she was a true believer.
She's dead. I assume you know that by now.
He nods at you.
Was it by your hand?
Mine. No.
I'm going to take out one of my blades.
Okay.
And I assume that, there are rocks probably along the side.
Sure.
I'm just going to start scraping the blade against the rock. It's definitely, my blades, I take good care of my blades.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because I'm in the dark. I need them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Blades.
But I am deliberately dulling this blade.
Oh.
Oh.
Scott is absolutely horrified. Griggs is fine. He regards you with a stare of... He regards you with a look of mild curiosity, Zane.
Now, you can preserve your own life and follow the path of those who have crossed us before to other islands on the whatever the name of the sea is between the continents of this world.
Yeah.
That thing?
Redacted. We'll add it later.
Yeah.
Put it in post.
Redacted.
Yeah.
That's my option, is it?
Yeah.
Scamper away.
Considering the bluecoats back there on the bridge, who were so familiar with your name, were so happy to let me through.
Everyone will know my name soon enough.
Or, no. They already knew your name, my friend. They were so happy to hear your name. It was as if I was in on their secret. And now I'm in on it too.
I have a counter proposal for you. I suggest you take it seriously. Join me with the knowledge that you will survive the bloodbath to come.
Or we kill you and release your control over the spirits.
I don't think that's going to work.
Funny. There seem to be an awful lot of them headed for the ambassadors.
Oh. Many,
Gala.
and many more.
Will not avenge your death because we know how they feel.
Okay, there's a gun level. There's a gun cocked. Zane, action.
Let's drink on it. I'm going to pull a small flask out. I am going to very deliberately take a swig of this flask, and I'm going to offer it to his lips.
Okay. He puckers dry, cracked lips, revealing a mouth with only a few teeth within.
Okay, I'll pour some of that in.
Sure, it's a flask of...
Silence potion,
Oh, yeah.
and then I'm going to drive the blade into his guts.
No! No! My NPC!
I was like, no, he needs a better drink than that.
Yeah.
So as he's doing this, now that I know, I'm going to pull out my fine bottle of whiskey,
Yeah.
brand name bottle that is a custom shape that comes in a very nice velvet bag. Sponsor us.
Love it.
Otherwise, we won't say your name.
Please.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, or
You're
you could
offering
drink
it.
Yeah.
And in that moment,
Yeah.
okay. As the potion passes his lips, there is a moment of realization as he realizes that it will coat and paralyze temporarily his vocal folds, rendering him unable to make noise from his mouth. The blade... So he's unable to make sounds, but you can...
But neither is Zane because he drank from his own flask.
Yeah, of course. Very good.
He's so reckless.
I will say what I've said.
Sure, please.
It's so much more effort to push it in now, and just pushing that dull blade
You can...
up into not anything vital.
Oh, nothing, not anything vital. Okay.
I said-
You said. You
I
did.
said very specifically several times today
I know.
that I love you.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. The blade, it's like pushing it's like pushing a blade into a leather boot. His skin is scarred and old and folded and kind of awful, to be honest. It stops at a certain point, perhaps a bone. Hard to say. He regards you with a look of surprise. Zane. His glass eye begins to twitch in its socket, and it falls out into your hand. Oh, sorry. It falls out towards you. I don't know if you want to catch it or anything.
No,
You
ew.
don't want to touch that, eh?
Like, that's a crusty old eye.
It really is, actually.
Bill, kill, Bill, kill, Bill, kill.
Yeah, maybe it's a source of his power. Kick it over to
It
me.
lands...
Crush it under your barefoot toes.
It lands...
With his
on-
phylactery,
Kill
he's a
Bill.
lich.
Yeah.
You never know.
We don't know. It lands on the gondola below you and kind of bounces briefly. It does not fall in the water.
He's going to lure ours.
His is the one that you landed on. Yeah. Blood starts to issue from the corners of his mouth. It is very dark. Outside, but also his blood. It's very, very dark.
I am going to sidle my way towards his gondola and that eye.
It regards you. Unblinking, because it's a
I'm
glass
going
eye.
to get really close to it
Yeah.
and shoot it with my concealed pocket pistol.
You're just gonna be like,
Palm
fuck
pistol,
your
sorry.
eyeball and fuck
Yeah.
you. Great.
If it regards me,
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
feels like it is, yeah.
fuck that. It's getting shot.
Okay.
As close as I can to make sure that I shoot it.
Wait, if you would be... Yep.
Do you have a grenade we can force feed him?
Intense.
I mean, you do. I'll just... Oh, sorry, you don't have to, but you do.
I do.
Wait, do you have any of that Quicksilver?
I could.
Come on. I have free gear. Okay, so the parcel that
Gear.
he had was explosives. So, this is my flashback. Definitely it was a grenade type object. So that treasure chest that he had, that he brought as our delivery, our super secret delivery, would be the grenade,
Yeah.
if you want.
Yeah.
And so I'm willing to mark off demolition tools to have made that happen.
And a stress.
And a stress.
Yeah.
Well, no, if you're just taking demolition tools, that's not a stress.
No, but the flashback to make it happen. Oh, no, I see what you mean, because it's part of your gear that
My
you've planted.
gear
in the
that I
thing.
planted.
My mistake. Yeah, you're right.
And I don't care if he saw it or not, as long as he left it in there.
In this boat, there is indeed a small chest, which you know will contain an explosive device, if you so desire it. However, several things are going to happen at once. Do you have an action? Sorry, you were looking at something. I feel like maybe, but maybe not.
No, I'm still kind of unsure what I can do in this instance.
There are things happening, so I'll,
I'll
cool,
react to that and then decide.
Several things happen at the same time. The small report of your palm pistol feels relatively loud in the silence. The shattering of the glass eye is also, again, it's not super loud, but it feels like it breaks the silence. Griggs begins to laugh. It's impossible for him to laugh, but there is sound issuing from his mouth. The glass eye, a wisp of blue smoke, curls out of it and moves towards Griggs, wrapping around his head. Griggs leans his head back, opens his mouth, and explodes in a blinding light. He is now floating, not secured, above the gondola, above you. You still have your blade in him. Yeah, hi.
So far, so good.
Yes.
But body horror is a line for me, so
Yeah, you
just as you go forward with describing what's going on.
You bet.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Well, letting me know, reminding, Yeah. The laugh that is issuing from his mouth and the wisp of smoke from his eye combines to make this powerful maelstrom of energy around him. You hear the howl of spirits. And specifically, Ollie, you can feel them converging on your position.
Okay.
There is a rush of energy being drawn towards him in this moment. He has nothing to say other than to laugh as he floats in front of you.
And I'm just like hanging on to him now.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You still got your feet on the ground, but he's no longer secured by the climbing gear. It's sort of exploded around him.
Yeah, you shot the eye,
And it
destroyed the
seems to have
doll.
powered him up. So, like, I can see him being like, oh yeah, this glass eye is going to be a containment vessel for all my magic power or whatever the fuck. Like, I can see, like, you know, like, I can see that being something in the direction of what he's done.
Yeah.
But he's good. Just because he controlled a lot of spirits doesn't mean he controlled all the spirits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have him in a at least partially surrounded, surprise cornered position.
Yeah.
So that could be good news to these spirits that hate him. Does any of that help you?
Yeah, I guess my thing is just they would probably act against him if he was like weakened a bit, but he hasn't been. Now he's stronger, so I feel like they won't turn against him yet.
Well, let's weaken him a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like a plan.
Like I'm happy to just attune and then kind of monitor the situation and see if it seems like the tide is about to turn in our favor and then try to rally some spirits against him.
From what we see of him, does he seem to have moved past corporeal into a more spiritual type of plane, or does he still seem relatively attached to his corporeal body?
He's still here. He's still in
Okay.
this plane. He does seem to be reaching out into the ghost field, yes.
Okay.
Communicating in the great beyond.
So I know what I
Well,
want.
I'm gonna see if I can interrupt that at least. So
Okay.
I'll attune
Yeah.
while Zane is doing his thing too.
Yeah.
So I still have a knife in him?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. I want to stuff my spirit bane charm into the wound.
It's just so brutal.
Ooh, good call.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. That doesn't require a roll for you to do. It immediately starts to hiss, which is
I'll
not
hold it in there.
It's not what a spirit bane charm does. Like
No.
it's you haven't seen that before. And Griggs writhes as you do so, but he continues to convulse with laughter.
I mean, he can laugh.
He's allowed to.
Idiots. But I'm going to stuff a spirit bane charm in him so that this person can shut him the fuck down.
Hello.
What's the plan? You're
I'm gonna
looking-
attune and see if I can punch him in the ghost field.
You're gonna punch him in the ghost field.
Ooh, right in the ghost
field.
Okay. Spirit fight. Okay. Yeah.
There's some show or movie or whatever where someone punches someone and their soul blasts out of them when they punch them.
Doctor Strange.
Thank you.
Yep. That.
Tilda Swinton.
I'm gonna assist.
Cool.
How much stress do you have?
Oh, I've got plenty of free. Do you need some?
Maybe you. I only have 3 left.
So she is trying to
I'm attuned. I'm going
Yeah.
into the ghost field to see what I can see.
I would have gone to the restricted section of the most relevant library in the city. Again, using a find cover identity because that's my thing. To look into the arcane section of which may be in restricted locked area of the library. To try to find methods on breaking an individual's connection to a group of spirits. Because that was the general plan, right?
Yeah.
He has control over spirits, we want to break that.
Yeah.
So I would have gone to that library, researched, and done the broad search to narrow it down to the specifics. It's these 3 chapters and these 3 books. Boom, you
Yeah.
read.
That is assistance
I will take
provided.
2 stress,
Yep.
if that's acceptable.
It's
One to assist.
1? Oh, man.
To assist.
Yo.
Could I take 1 die from you, please?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He has good, his dice rolling good. Sometimes not.
And ghost field. Oh, for fuck's sake. 4.
It's still a success.
Yeah, I know. But I was rolling such a big poo.
Your consequence, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Kill me. Have the ghost field take me away.
Take me away, my secret place.
You don't have a lot of stress left to resist this, right? So
I'm gonna try all the same. Worst
fair.
case,
worst case, what?
I'm lost to the ghost field.
Well, it just means you're out of the heist. It doesn't mean that you're out
You're
of the
not
game.
dead.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah. No, I'm into it. The consequence that I would inflict upon you is, oh my god, is the merging of your spirit with Grig's.
Ew.
The ghost field will bind your spirits together.
Gross. I don't want that.
I just think
He's
you would-
nasty.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd resist that shit.
You may resist this with insight. It's the bottom one, right?
No, that's resolved.
That's resolved then. Sorry, the bottom one.
Oh boy.
3. Oh my god, I'm 1 clear.
Do you have?
Do I have what? Where
No,
is
no, no. That's what you have.
1, 2, 3. Here we go, folks. She inches ever closer.
Wave. The ghost field, snaps into view as you have seen it many times before, a sort of unearthly layer on top of this one. Griggs in this world is, thank you, he's a vision, beautiful and terrible. He's somehow,
He would be a queen.
exactly, thank you, yeah, exactly. He is levitating in a heavenly light almost. If you had any faith in a higher power, you might believe it was him in this instant. There's something very beautiful about what he's doing, which is essentially reaching out, right?
Yeah.
When he sees you here, he locks eyes with you. One eye and one no longer eye there.
Void.
Thing. It's gone.
Socket.
one speck of dust.
One speck of dust floating there. And he grins and he asks, "What are you going to do? You cannot stop what I have started. Duskfall will fall under the weight of all of its history. And you will have nothing to show for it. You could have joined me. You, the Wraiths, anyone. And you have chosen to stand against me, the power I wield.
You wield your power with a dark purpose.
Everyone does everything in Duskfall with a dark purpose.
That's a stupid joke, and you're a stupid man.
Well, he looks a little hurt.
The spirits hate you, and I hate you for what you've done to them.
Hate me all you wish.
And the second they're free, they're gonna burrow under your skin, and they're gonna eradicate you from the inside out.
We will see in a matter of moments, will we not? The conquest has begun.
I want to go up to him.
Yeah.
Oh, what can I do? Well, if I punch him in the face, it won't do much.
I mean, jump on me. I'm still holding onto the knife. It'll just pull.
The spirit bane charm that is sort of jammed in his sword wound right in his blade wound. You can see it in the ghost field. It is vibrating, trying to contain some of the power that's coming out of him.
Who else has Spirit Bane charms? Toss me another one.
So I was gonna say I would like to, now that I've shot his eye into
Yeah,
pieces,
it's gone, yes.
which seems to have just gone. I'm going to turn back to what is the connection of Zane and Griggs. Grab onto the edge of Zane's shadow cloak, whatever it's called.
My fine
shadow cloak. And use it as like an alley-oop to reach up and jam my Spirit Bane charm into what is left open by the thing I shot.
Yeah, sure.
Can I get a boom shakalaka on that one?
3 points!
From downtown!
From downtown. You can absolutely do this. It's all moving in slow motion for you, Waif, as you watch. Very Cthulhu. But hi, though.
Hi.
You can watch as Thistle uses a Spirit Bane charm to, again, sort of try to contain some of the power.
Or break his connection.
Connection.
Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. His form starts to shimmer within the ghost field. He's losing some of his power, and he's trying desperately to hold on to it past the Spirit Bane charms that are here.
You can feel them, can't you? Struggling to break free.
They're coming for you.
They're fighting against your bonds. You did this to them, and they're gonna find you.
I am unleashing them upon Duskfall, where they will feast. And then I will rule.
They will turn on you. You can't control them.
You
No
don't know
one
what I can do.
control them. I can see you.
He reaches out to you and touches your heart.
Spit on his hand.
Okay.
With ghost spit.
I'm gonna need a resistance roll here.
Great.
It's not called fortitude. The middle one is called
Prowess.
finesse. I think I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finesse is within.
I'm gonna need a prowess resistance roll. He's touching your heart and
Yeah.
attempting to stop it.
I should have been rolling with -1 die this whole time. I forgot I had
'cause of the
level 2
thing.
harm.
That's okay.
So this applies to resistance as well, right?
No. Resistance rolls.
No, it's just for action rolls. No, it does
Okay.
not. This is.
I apologize. I will remember in future.
That's okay. In
I
future.
can assist resistance, can I?
No,
And is this for harm or stress or?
this is to stop your heart.
Nice.
So it's for harm.
Okay.
Permanent harm.
That
Long
seems
term
about right.
Harm 3, need help, yeah.
Harm 4.
That's a 6. and
Okay.
5.
As he reaches out, I mean, you spit on his hand, and
Yeah.
he seems to recoil, but his ghostly figure briefly zaps you with a powerful electrical shock. You can feel your heart briefly stop defibrillating.
That tickles.
He is.
Now who's unstoppable, fucker?
Why did you not join me when you had the chance?
Because I don't like you very much.
Neither do they.
Have I seen his hand reach out towards her heart?
His ghost hand, but yes, his physical form did move as well. Yeah.
I would like to pull out a blade
Yeah.
or two.
Okay.
And go to sever that hand.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, you can do that. He is distracted, but I'm gonna call for a roll all the same.
I have a finesse way. I want to like precisely disconnect it at the wrist.
It's just horrible.
I feel like my cracked rib probably hampers
Yes,
this
it
attempt.
does.
But I'm gonna take 2 stress
Okay.
to make this happen. Though I guess I should hear your devil's bargain before I do this.
You should. I mean, yeah,
Because I can do this or that. It's always phrased as or.
it is always phrased as or.
You could assist me in doing it. I could hold his arm. I could like reach out and hold his arm in place.
You can
Do a
resist.
skirmish attack.
Oh, I
and
see.
therefore you sever it, but let me take the roll.
So I grab his wrist and you sever it. Would be the correct order of operations. I'm down to do that if you're down to take that action.
Well, I
to
have
skirmish.
soften from murder,
essentially.
acing.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I have 4
Great.
skirmish.
If you're up for doing that, I will take the 1 stress
Instead of
to
2.
grab his
Yeah.
grab. I want to grab his wrist and like push it upwards towards this like vague essence of ghost. Like I'm
Yeah.
not attuned, but I feel like
But you can see
There's
it
like
now.
a sense of it. So I want to like grab it and thrust it towards the sense of the ghost hand and try to, like my heart is in trying to grab both of them, but mostly stop stabbing my friend.
Yay!
That's fair.
Thanks.
What kind of action is this?
I mean, if you listen to the whispers in your mind,
I am listening to the whispers in my mind.
it's
Yes.
got to be brutal. They want you to hack him up. So be more of a wreck than a skirmish. You can attempt to resist the voices and do this in a way that is a bit more.
So I'll take one less die
Okay.
because of that. But is it a desperate action or? a
Oh, I
risky
see what you
action?
mean. I see what you mean. No, it is risky.
Okay.
He's not paying attention to you at this
So
moment.
at the moment, I gained a die from the assistants, and I lost it because of the voices in my head. Because I'm not wrecking this. I can't. Well, I could, but it would not.
Can't, but you could. Yeah.
What kind of a devil's bargain?
Oh my god. I feel like I can't frighten you guys with harm or anything anymore.
They've got nothing to
The
lose.
brutalization of Griggs, regardless of his status as a good or bad gondolier, would cause you to gain notoriety by the people of Duskfall.
No, I'm not doing that.
I think we're good.
It would be brutal. Not look very nice.
6.
You have his are attempting to sort of grab both his
Could have
wrist
held
and
his
the
hand. We
essence
could have
of
done
it.
it to his neck, but
I mean, there you go.
He reached
slowly.
out to stab her, so my
Slowly
intent
is
was to
good.
cut
I
off the
like
hand
it.
that tried to stab her.
yep.
He essentially he's so withered. His arm at the wrist essentially dusts into the air as it falls. And he,
Dust fall.
Ah,
you're
nice.
basically dead over there. He is unable to gasp. He's unable to make sound. But you can watch him, jerk in surprise as he realizes that that part of his body is now gone, and he looks towards both of you, pleadingly.
Let them go.
Who?
The spirits.
I cannot.
Yes, you can if you're so powerful.
Have you ever wanted to be known?
No,
You've never wanted to make an impression?
not on people like you.
When the three of you approached me, I knew that you wanted to make names for yourselves. You believe in yourselves. You believe yourselves to be worthy of praise and notoriety. So am I. I wield power. If I let them go, I have done nothing.
Hear that laugh?
I do.
Give us the oh ho 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 ho. There you go.
No, she's too cold for that.
That's true.
You have to be arrogant for that. She's cold. Ice cold.
That's my friend. Where's your backup? Where are the
Go,
people
sex.
who care about you?
Not here yet.
I would like to take my spirit bottle from my arcane implements.
Yes.
And shove it into his eye socket.
Oh, there's a
Yeah, on top of the spirit bane
There's a charm in
That's
there.
okay.
Oh, there's
Which is-
already
no,
one
no,
in
which
there.
is good,
Is there
because
is there a
you can,
gaping wound I can shove it into?
Jam it like no.
I can
you
make
can
one
just,
for you.
Nice.
Well, actually,
Shane, could you make me another hole?
his wrist got severed, right? You can just shove it in his arm.
shove it in there.
cool.
Sure.
We're
I was gonna
awful.
say, like, I was picturing a cross and like the spirit bane charm is in, and you just push it
Nice.
further in with your bottle.
I'm trying to coerce the spirits out into this bottle because I will free them once I'm out of here.
Okay.
If he won't, I will. And it's a spirit bottle, so I think it's pretty.
I hear what you're doing.
It's an appealing place.
I hear what you're doing, and I appreciate the plan.
Oh God.
Griggs once again reacts in shock. And then, around the corner, not reinforcements, not gondoliers, not bluecoats. The sound of wailing voices
from beyond the grave, banshees dripping with ectoplasmic energy.
Oh no, it's
Round
Mrs.
the
Ward.
Hooray!
Oh, can I get you something to eat? They round the corner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Zane,
I
you,
almost dropped this.
Zane, you're pretty sure that you can make out Telda's furious, hungry ghost in the group. Perhaps that's just your mind. They start to rush you. The five of you. Sorry, Gaz is basically passed out at this point. I think he's definitely relieved himself for sure. And I think
Team.
he's passed out.
We don't care about him anymore,
Yeah.
so like if he needs to have run away, it's okay. That's fine too. Collateral damage.
It looks like a gust of wind, but it is made of brilliant, pure white energy, and it is rushing towards the four of you.
You wish to control them. We wish to free them. What do you think? They want more in an equal balance. Yet there are three of us and one of you.
They can consume me. I don't mind. Duskfall will enter a glorious new age.
It will.
It's too bad that you won't get a chance to see this new age. And I'm going to lift myself up because I was doing all them chin-ups with Roan. So I'm going to lift myself up with one of them, and with my second blade, it's going into his other eye.
Yeah, sure is. I don't need a roll for this. He is unable to resist the assault.
I'm trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's time.
Yeah. His mouth opens and breath escapes him as the bottle, the spirit bane charms, the knives, whatever, they kind of are pushed out as he expires, and Griggs falls down into the gondola below. And as you
I
exactly,
think I pretty much fall with him because
yeah. The spirits that are rushing towards Griggs suddenly shoot up into the sky and form a whirling hurricane above you. You can see someone in a sort of across the canal in a window. Someone looks out and is immediately sucked up into the sky.
sucks to be him.
Griggs is dead. You have a recording of him talking about some sort of master plan. It's not super
Hi, successful. We're out of here.
What's the plan here, guys?
It was to kill him and get evidence.
and free the spirits. Great. Tick,
Wait,
tick, tick.
That was Free the Spirits part of the plan? I didn't care.
Part of my secret plan.
Freed
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
to do what is the question?
To live your unlife. I'm gonna go free the others under the canal.
To live would be the greatest adventure.
You're welcome.
Nomine Patri, Spiritus Sancti. The spirit maelstrom above you starts to glow and thunder, and there are the sounds of shouts, lanterns in the distance. Spirit wardens are on high alert.
Oh,
There's
they don't like
clanging
us.
of bells
Cheese it.
as they start to rush towards the area. Now, look, I mean, normally the spirit wardens go to the site of a dead person and they contain that person's spirit so that there isn't a hungry ghost in town. There now appear to be hundreds of hungry ghosts. They're on high alert. How do you want to get out of here?
So,
If that's the plan, which I think it is.
As I was reaching into my pocket to potentially try to stuff more things down, I guess his throat at this point, seeing that he is now dead, I am still going to reach out the arcane implements that I also packed,
Nice.
and try to use whatever's in this kit to cast a shield around the three of us. My ultimate plan is let Waif still communicate, but make us like less interesting target. We stink to ghosts, right? We're stinky.
The
but
black
you can
salt.
hear
I
us.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
black salt. So I guess I'm gonna shake black salt over the three of us and dash it into one of the boats. If
Not the one that's all fucked up from the trap, hopefully.
This one is fucked up.
yeah, so if Gaz is just like
Just roll him
passed
out of the
and
boat.
sad,
Fuck him.
He is passed out.
That's fine. I'm just gonna push him out of the way, wherever is most convenient to push him out of the way, and gondola us towards home.
Gondola.
Now I just want to ask. The most convenient place would be in the water. You can also hoist him onto land. That might
Cold.
take a second. Straight in the water. Gaz disappears beneath the.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then when you're pulling, make sure that you pull him right in the throat
Oh.
before you keep going.
Whatever is most efficient at this time
Exactly.
to get us to safety.
Rigatoni cantoni.
We're the gondoliers now.
And the ghosts in the sky. And you shattered an eye.
Oh boy.
Wow. Can't even say heroes, folks, because we never even
never
played
were.
in that ballpark. Incredible.
Okay. You're gonna have to lay low for a time. The city.
I don't know, I've got a lot of stress. I really should head to the Centralia
Now
Club.
we
and
can
just-
talk
it's a
about
date
that. I
to
think you might be in trouble if you do this. Although you're right, with your vices and your traumas, you might have to.
I want to
have
have
to
sex with my ghost
Poke your
boyfriend.
head out of your
He's in
hiding.
my head right now.
He is?
I mean, maybe.
Hey.
So I could have
What
sex
are you
with
doing
you and
later,
it'd be like having sex with
Zane?
you.
Nope.
Wait, what? Do I have to be in the room while this happens?
I'm not hung like a ghost.
I wave, take the ghast as my wonderful bed partner.
Head partner. The city is aflame with the news. A massive group of spirits released over Duskfall all at once. Now, whether or not you choose to investigate what damage was caused by them remains unknown.
Hands up everyone who actually gives a fuck about that. Hold on. Oh no. Oh.
Nobody gives a fuck about the city. Griggs, the second in command of the gondoliers, is reported as dead.
Missing, maybe.
Perhaps.
Like, is his body still there?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Unless
well,
you took
then,
it.
yeah. He's pretty dead.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Sploosh.
I don't
The
care to tell.
the wounds on him would imply that it was a very brutal gangland incident. Like
I mean, the wounds of at least 2 spirit bane charms and a spirit bottle jammed into his. I mean, that seems
Yeah.
to indicate certain things.
it does, but also perhaps that it was a power move as well. That's the current theory or rumor going around
Yeah,
Duskfall.
we got a cranky box that'll help get us in good with the gondoliers. though.
That is a good point. I like to imagine that the Moxie will indeed present their evidence of Griggs' wrongdoing or Griggs' plan or whatever to the gondoliers, to their leader, who may or may not accept that Griggs was doing what he said he was doing. The spirit wardens were able to calm the spirits enough with minimal collateral damage, not none. There are definitely dead people in Duskfall, not to mention Gaz, who is never seen again.
God.
But you find yourselves back in the front room of the Three-Legged Goat. Warm, dry. Mrs. Ward bringing you her new creation, a small pie filled with very squelchy greens and mushrooms, of course. And she places 3 steaming bowls of soup in front of you, as well as these little pies, and she thanks you again for saving her life. There's been a big shift in Duskfall tonight, for sure. But what Griggs said did not come to pass. The city was not overtaken by spirits. Perhaps he was unable to summon the rest of them. Perhaps their resting places remain and need to be cleansed somehow. Maybe alone, maybe with help. But if you return to Griggs' hideout, inside that resplendent red cloak is lined with jewels and gold. Wealth enough for a small gang to get a bit more moxie in the city.
But gathered around that wonderful dinner table, I ask our wonderful friend to bring 4 shot glasses, one for her as well.
Oh, for me, dearie. Oh, I
And
hardly
I pour
touched the stuff.
4 shots of fine whiskey. And I cheers us in the air.
Is it from the same bottle? Like the
And
sleeping bottle?
Somehow.
Oh, okay.
Morian
I was just gonna put
fails.
for silence.
Morian seems to take her shot, and yet she slips out.
What the
All her friends are a little drowsy.
Oh my god. What the shit? Mrs. Ward would absolutely pass the fuck out behind the bar. She's daughtery and old. Where do we find? Okay, let's do a quick little.
I don't know. Apparently,
I don't know.
I've been
I'm
drugged.
cold. I'm cold,
No,
and
no,
I'm
I
just
love
like,
it.
"Fuck you guys, I'm out."
Fuck you guys,
That's
I'm
my sunset.
I like this, and I'll leave it there as a sunset. When you awaken, you're not dead. Where would we find Zane and Waif?
Probably still in the
I
three-legged goat.
guess, yeah.
I mean, in general, where do we see you going? Do the Moxie grow? Do the Moxie continue?
No, I have to. Apparently, I got to track down Thistle and murder her. Why did you drug us and
I was
leave?
cold.
That was cold.
I needed to get
Yeah,
away
soon
from.
you're going to be a
I
lot
need
colder.
to sever my connection
You'll be room
with you
temperature.
two, right? We were a crew, and we started building a name for ourselves as the Moxie Crew, and it was just too much. And I was like, no, this is too much of a risk. I have to cut myself loose.
Yeah, too much of a risk is letting you live. So I think I'm hunting her down,
Nice.
to be
Okay.
honest.
A shadow is tracking Morian throughout Duskfall. Where do we find Waif?
Waif is going to use the potion that she was given by her dear friend a long time ago.
Yeah, Stasia.
That lets a
Salia, sorry.
a spirit take corporeal form briefly. She's going to ask her Bay if he wants to go all the way.
Mr. Charkovitz, the somewhat formal ghost who lives in the Cloven Hoof, resides in the Cloven definitely doesn't live, resides in the Cloven Hoof, gladly takes the potion and takes Waif into his arms. They are very cold, but he is alive for now.
Waif has a wonderful time. That's what she's doing, as often as possible.
Mrs. Ward will continue to serve.
Oh my god.
Just a water bottle, right?
Yeah. Waif Mrs. Ward continues to serve her pies and her drinks in the three-legged goat, and she wonders where her favorite customers got off to.
Oh, I'm still
We should see them
around.
again. Yeah, more.
I'm still part of it.
I
As
drop
far as
by
I know,
every
we're
so
still part of the
often.
Still the
gang.
crew. Yeah, of course.
Oh, wait,
way
you're
more
leaving the
chipper.
crew too?
No, I come by.
Okay.
I'm in your crew.
But at the end of all of this action with Griggs, with the gondoliers, I think we'll quiet the whispers in the water for now, and I think we'll end the campaign here. Mini campaign. Clap, 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 clap.
Are folks okay with me having done that?
You fucking dead.
I mean, that's
shit.
fine.
We'll just flash some cards.
I'm okay with being dead. As a
I know everything
consequence.
about your concealed pistol and your fucking
Your cover
identity.
Secret
He's like,
identities.
MD. That's a
Uncover
no, that must be
identities?
Morian.
Yeah.
Hooray.
basically.
You'll never hear me coming.
I won't. Okay.
We have
I
the
already know
cranky
your
box for
parents are.
blackmail.
Neither will Waif.
Hello.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.
Horrible. Okay, folks, thank you all very much. Let's talk a little bit about what we learned today and do some XP as well. If people want more XP for their character sheets, we can do that off stream. Either a thought from today's session or more generally through the mini campaign. I'd love to know what people have learned and to highlight a play from today. Let's start today with Kate, if you're
So you're saying a highlight instead of necessarily what we learned.
No, what you learned either today or through the campaign,
Overall.
but also a highlight, yes.
No, I learned, so throughout this campaign and including our practice sessions, definitely that Blades in the Dark is different than anything else I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so used to systems that are either one-shots or campaigns that can go to level 20 and epic and D&D or Essence 5 or whatever it is, whichever system. EXP fucking 500 or whatever we had in Changeling, right?
Honestly, a lot, yeah.
Whereas this is somewhere in between, right? It's not a one-shot. It's not I guess you could. It feels a bit too deep of a system to necessarily do a one-shot for if you've never played it before. But it's also such a high-risk system that you're going to take stress. You're going to take trauma. You're going to take harm. So what I learned, but also that crystallized today was there's a time limit to your character. As much as the crew may live on, your character may not, in one way or another.
Very true.
Which was fun to embrace once I came around to it.
Right. Oh, I'm going to play this character next week, but maybe not the week after that.
Yeah.
You know? I hear
Yeah,
you.
or we're going to play them for 6 sessions, but if we ever come back to this crew, maybe I won't be Mori anymore.
I don't know if Zane has anything to say about it. He might not be. Yeah, it's true. John, sorry, did you want to highlight someone's plate?
Oh yeah, I would like to highlight. Who have I highlighted last? I don't know. I'm gonna say John. I want to highlight. Sorry, folks. The fact that John embraced his traumas. That he, like, I know that for the first 45 minutes or so of the session, you didn't say much, and you gave a few green cards to say you were okay, but you're embracing the fact that your character was willing, seemingly from my perspective, willing to go along with the plan if it meant you could accomplish your goal. But you didn't care about the details, you cared about the end goal.
Yeah.
So I want to highlight the fact that rather than being like, no, it's fine, whatever, I may be reckless, but right now I want to be tactical, you chose to just be like, no, my character's reckless right now. You guys be tactical.
But I also didn't want to dive into reckless to the point where I was like, your plan doesn't matter. I'm just going to go off and put a
I
knife
also
in his
appreciate
throat.
that, yeah.
I do too, for sure.
I'll just find him out in the city somewhere.
Yeah, I'll just get out of here. Fuck you.
I'll move on down to you, John. Thoughts, feelings?
I learned that it's a wonderful way to play. I've played D&D where it's really just been like, let's do tactics and that's it, right? Like we're playing this role play very, very light. We're really focusing on the battles. And that's fun. That is honestly fun. It's not my favorite way to play, but it's a way to play. This is a step beyond that, but at the same time, I think that there's something very attractive to me about saying, you know what, for the next couple of months, this is what we're doing. We're going to play in an environment where things happen a little more fast and loose, that the attachments that you get to your characters aren't quite the same. The world building is still essential, and at the same time, we're not going to dive too deep into our emotional well-being or our, performance. And instead, we're kind of figuring out how far we can press our luck.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Push your luck specifically, I hear you, yeah.
But I don't know if I'd want to do this for longer than a few months at a shot.
No,
it's
for
not
sure.
like I'm like, I'm never playing this again. Like, I would love to play Blades in the Dark again. But I think that that's sort of like, okay, I want to go back to a different kind of game now. I don't know what game that is. Well, actually, I kind of do know what kind of game that is.
We're going to talk about that in a moment.
But that's what I've learned.
Cool.
That's the interesting thing. It's, you don't always have to play the games that are the ones that appeal to you the most. And I think that you're much, much richer for that if you give other things a shot.
Of course, yeah. How else would you know what you love about the systems that you love if you didn't try other systems to compare them with?
We were in the shit today, right? Like there was very much this sort of deliberate, I wanted to kill a guy. I knew that I wanted to kill a guy. And yet Waif never wavered from the actual thing that was important. Right? Like, oh yeah, there's a shit ton of spirits. I made a promise to them, and they may also destroy everything if I don't, do something to help out. And you were not getting support on that. And I gotta say that it is really refreshing to see you hold on to that and be like, maybe I don't need anybody's support for this. But it doesn't interfere with anyone else's play. It's not making anyone else sad that you're doing that. It is in fact makes the game better that you pushed for it at the end. You didn't kind of let somebody else say, well, he wanted it more, so he can just kill a guy and that's it. So I really do appreciate that you remained true not just to your character's motivation, but also in the face of not total abandonment, but certainly not support.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I learned that there is a way to play this game that is where your character is very, very, very specialized. And it's hard.
Yeah.
But when you succeed in things, it is very rewarding. And it means that there's a lot of moments where you're like, you're genuinely worried, or you think, like when I came around to the fact that trauma was inevitable and it was all about timing when I got it, suddenly the game snapped into focus. It's like, it's not about trying to stay alive. It's about choosing when you die and how, so you can benefit your crew. Which is why I would agree with John that I don't think I could play this game for a super long period of time, but the fact that we did it in this like bite-sized, kind of contained, it was great because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna aim to have my same character the whole time, but she can totally take trauma. She can totally do this, and this, because I know that it'll end.
Yeah, when you take your 4th level of trauma, you retire.
Right.
Now, you know, how much coin you personally have put away determines the level at which your character is able to go and enjoy and live, right? Yeah, there you go. But you're absolutely right. The fourth trauma could just be like, well, you have no savings, so you may as well just be like stabbed in a bar fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could. That's how you could go.
Gutter.
Out. Yeah, just like gutter life. Whoops. Yeah, it's very interesting. In that sense.
I want to highlight old Morian, old Thistle,
Morian Dangerfield,
for talking down the blue coats and for coming up with all of these friggin' fine cover identities again and again and again, and like just always having a new way to talk us out of things. And like, I'm sure Zane would have stabbed all of them if we'd let him, and like
he was ready.
And you managed to mitigate that, which was like really impressive. So yeah.
That's really
Fun to. It's always sort of, there's often at least a trifecta of how to approach an encounter, right? There's like the punchy, the talky, and the sneaky, right?
Always
like
and forever,
if those
yeah.
are the three, I'm sure there's more nuance to all of those.
sure.
But yeah, it's fun to find ways to employ all of those. We did a lot of sneaking, we did a lot of talking, we did a lot of punchies.
And a lot of punchies tonight. Yeah. I mean, horrible stuff, but beautiful stuff.
I want to highlight Scott for what has been a really fun campaign, like a mini campaign, but
Cool.
a fun campaign. Like, we've all run one-shots at this point, but I felt safe. Like, as much as I did raise the yellow card today, like, I felt safe in your hands, and I didn't feel like, oh, well, whatever, this is the Scott mini campaign, so like we'll get through it and we'll get back to John. Like, no,
Yuck.
like it genuinely, it felt like on par with all the other campaigns that we've done, as much as it was curtailed and small and parceled. It didn't feel out of place.
That's really nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. No, it's good because again, you know, we talk, and I will come around to this, but next week we will be talking at greater length about how this went and what we thought and what you thought out there in the audience. But we talked expectations, and I'm glad that we met those. Specifically,
Drop that in the Discord,
Yeah,
maybe
please.
in one shot.
armor austere.
Or general, or
I
whatever
don't know
seems
what that is.
relevant.
Yeah. Something that specifically came up today as well, that one of the things that came up in the expectations and like, what do you guys want out of this, was like, we don't want to play heroes. No heroes. We're playing bad guys. People who will do whatever they want. You know, I would say check mark specifically today, because up to this point it's been a lot of like, oh, there's an evil plan afoot. Like we better help diffuse it. There's a totally valid version of the story where you're like, oh shit, like who's pulling off this big heist? Cool, yeah, great. Can you pay us and we'll be on your side? You know, like there's a version of the story that's that, right? That was not the story today. And I feel like we accomplished something very positive by doing some really bad stuff to a bad dude, which is cool. But thank you, that's really kind. The reason I bring that up is that we have streams coming up through the week, and then we're going to talk very briefly, because I know we're already, timing-wise, it's over. We're going to talk a little bit about what's upcoming on RPG Clinic. This week is a funky one for me in particular. I'm not streaming on Tuesday, so no stream for me on Tuesday. I hope to make it up at some point later in the week, probably by finishing Doomed with the Crosshair, but I have to time that out as well. Do we know about John on Wednesday and Thursday? Probably not, eh?
I don't know offhand. He might hop in to
I'll ask him.
say what's what. There probably will be a stream from John on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll come right back. but there will be streams. We're going to be off on Christmas weekend, but there should be streams every other Sunday.
Yay!
So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry.
This
We were
week.
just going through this week. It was a bit funky. No stream for me on Tuesday,
Nah.
unfortunately.
There's going to be a stream for me. What kind of stream will be will depend on when I get my SSD back, but we managed to play some Lolo
I saw that.
last week. I'm sure we'll figure something out again. It will probably not be Cyberpunk, but it will be something. So yeah, you'll see a stream from me.
Cool. Friday?
I believe there's Punchy, and I believe
so.
there's Drew Crew.
Yes, but there's no Saturday night stream for me. But again, I'm going to try to find a moment to wrap that up before the holidays start.
but next Sunday we'll be back here, this channel. We will be doing a semi-Blaze in the Dark Froyo. There might be a little bit of like casual game playing,
Yeah.
etc. We're gonna have a few things in the pocket depending on how long the Froyo lasts.
Yes.
Right in
Because
my
this
pocket.
was a mini campaign, the Froyo may not last as long as a standard stream. We'll of course wrap if we feel like we're done, but otherwise we'll probably have some other games. We're
good.
gonna be off for Christmas weekend.
Yes.
But then in the new year, if things go according to plan, we will be testing my very rough, yet to be play tested. So we will be live play testing Major Problem, which is a one-shot that I created, one-page one-shot, where you are people on a military base. You are majors, generals, privates.
Oh, good. I've got my character name. Thank you.
Private
Another
parts.
thing.
Shut up.
So things like that. So it's a pun-based one-shot RPG. Then there's another thing that we're planning on running.
Yes.
Dates to be confirmed, I believe.
Yeah, dates to be confirmed, but we are going to be delving into either Good Society or Gothic Society.
What's Gothic Society, Liz?
Gothic Society is a Gothic skin to Good Society. That's
The Jane Austinian.
Frankenstein,
Yeah.
Dracula. Those are like a few of the themes, but there are a whole lot of other horror-esque elements
Yeah.
to be drawn from.
Yeah, so we just need to finalize some of the details, including a potential special guest, but we will let you know as soon as that is.
We're hoping that next Sunday at our mini kind of semi-froyo as we move into the holidays and have a good time, we're going to be able to confirm some of these dates for all of y'all out there. But of course, the best place to find out everything, if you can't make it on stream, is the Discord. That's where we post all of our stuff. I even try to post when I'm streaming sometimes.
Yeah. And I also want to sprinkle out that we are planning a future campaign. This is going to be something closer to a campaign, but those details are still being locked down. But we aren't intending to leave you with another 6 months of one-shots. Or
That's-
2 shots or 3
or
shots,
whatever.
depending on how.
Yeah.
Good Society / Gothic Society, we're looking at 2 weeks, I think, at the moment, just so that you have a sense of the scale of things. So February, March, we should be starting a new campaign.
Yeah, something.
We'll let you know once we have actually done our practice and decided what we're going to do. So we will keep you posted.
Exactly.
We just don't want to promise things.
Right.
without-
Which, yeah,
We've done.
we've been there before, and we want to
And
make
we
sure.
were like, oh, we can't do
oh, we
this.
can't
Sorry,
actually
everyone.
pull off this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have to unfortunately sit there in a bit of anticipation for some time.
And where can they look as they sit there in anticipation?
That's tough, actually. I don't know. You could probably go ytmnd.com still up, or you can definitely go to our Discord.
Jesus
Yeah!
Christ.
I spent a
Wow.
lot of time on that website. You can go to our Discord. That's where we post all of our stuff, and it's where we hang out. I'm also doing a movie night. I forgot. I'm doing a movie night this coming Saturday. We're watching. Well, it's a movie morning here in this part of the world, but for y'all Europeans, it'll be movie night. We're doing all sorts of cool stuff. So go check out the movie night channel, General, and Blades in the Dark if you want to post your reactions and thoughts to this campaign. I think that brings us to the end of today. I want to thank you guys because it's been awesome. So thank you.
Thank you.
A ton of fun.
Yay! And don't be like Griggs. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. And in fact, if you can, go get vaccinated. There's new vaccines out there, folks. It's a great time. But of course, the way we're going to be able to do this is all together as we go to get dinner and you all go up this way and over this way.
Bye.
Bye. Let's see if it works.